One. Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome to a special episode of the Unknown Games podcast. I mean, this isn't even a podcast anymore. This is the assembly. This is where the Elden Lords have come to discuss what on earth happened to our world. That sounds like an actual retrospective on real life. Anyways,
that's the beginning of the DLC right there. The Elden Lords have assembled.
This is the summit.
That the world might be mended. That the world.
After we have become ashes.
It is like the referee from One Piece.
Yep.
So my name is I'm Adrian, aka Ninja Tricks. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you're droning, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at Ninja Tricks, whatever. But as I've been waiting for this podcast. I've been waiting for this episode. It's been great. But the voices you just heard are let's just go to the left of me or the right of me. First of all, we got Soldat J, Elden Lord. How's it going?
Going well.
And
very well.
We also have the one and only
yo.
You don't even need to.
The one true king.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, the one true king, the one true Elden Lord.
Hold on, no, hold on. You can't be claiming the one true king. That's something else.
He was about to get taken out.
Hold on. And he struck him, and he died. I was like, ooh.
Well, yeah, that's the voice of Ehe. You can follow him on Twitter at Just Ehe. That is JUSTEHE on Twitter. Man, be doing some fire tweets. You might get some good content or some dog posts.
Or some sus material.
You get a little everything from a daily visit with Ehe.
But you will get thirst.
Mostly wrestling.
Mostly wrestling, though. Mostly wrestling. That's very true. But yeah, today we are here to talk about Elden Ring, our final verdict, what we think about the game, everything that, because we've all spent a lot of time in it. We've all beat the game. Some of us have beat it multiple times. And I mean, it's been quite a journey. And honestly, we all have different impressions of it. But I think we all walked out relatively with, well, you'll have to find out at the end of the show in terms of, just listen to the entire thing.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's
gonna be a ride. It's gonna be a ride.
It's gonna be a ride. We do have our thoughts planned out for the most part, but we might deviate. And of course, if you're on YouTube right now, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel where we pump out some great content. And as always, you can follow the Unknown Games Podcast at UGP_cast on Twitter, and you can follow myself at Ninja Tricks. I'm going to say that 4 times just to make sure you follow me at Ninja Tricks. All right. Or else. Anyways, let's go ahead and get on into this because we got a lot of stuff to cover. First of all, we're going to go over how many, just kind of like a basic overview, right? Just how many hours we've played each, playthroughs, the builds, that sort of thing. So, starting with you, how long did you play and how many playthroughs did you do and what was your build?
All right, so I ended up doing 3 playthroughs. Finished out the game, got all my achievements, which is a whole story in itself. Steam has me officially at 345 hours, but some of that was AFK, so I'm gonna just reduce that down to 300.
Okay, that's a healthy amount.
I don't know about healthy, but it was good.
I don't know about healthy, but it was good. And yeah, and then I guess for your playthroughs, you said 3 playthroughs.
3 playthroughs. I did about 4 different builds. I started off with sword and staff. I did the Gandalf build, went intelligence. Then after that, I slid into a strength and faith build. So I was using those holy magics. Well, technically, all builds I kind of mixed both in half, but like these were the focus of my stats. Okay. So second one was a strength and then faith, and then last the third one was the classic feared bleed build. Specking into arcane, and then I finished off just going full on Unga Bunga and just went all strength with enough stats to finish out the prereqs. And that's a testament to the game where you can build anyway as long as you know what you need, because there's different ways to actually scale in the game based on the From legacy. But they really explained it out right.
There we go. That's what's up. And hey, what about you? How many?
Yeah. How many hours?
Yeah, how many hours?
If
you want,
I haven't checked.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, let me get the real numbers right here.
Let me get my people to get my number.
This man got people. Okay, sorry.
Oh, so surprisingly, I only have 98 hours.
Wait, what? Did they miss?
Wait.
No, yeah, it's probably
Oh, you
just
did it
98
effectively.
hours. In one of my playthrough, I just speedrun the game. Like I was practicing how to speedrun the game, so
Okay.
it only
Mm.
take me like 5 hours to beat the game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That third run through when I had to just run it down, which was it was annoying because I did Rainey's quest each one of those run throughs,
Right.
and
Right.
I didn't do
Oh
her
yeah,
ending each one of those. I goofed up in some small way, so I had to run it down one more time, and it only took me a day.
I didn't do the Rani quest line in one of my playthrough,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah, I
why
did in
my
each
own one only
one.
have 98 hours.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
okay. Okay.
yeah,
but
but
even
the
that one
most
is
my first build was the intelligent build with just the Kamehameha spell,
so
and it just
Which I saw you
destroyed.
nuke some things. I
It
saw you nuke
just
some things, bro.
destroy everything in my path. The path of the one true Elden Lord.
again. Okay, Elden Lord. All right, that's right context. There we go.
Yeah,
So
but yeah,
yeah.
the magic is really fun in this game,
Hmm.
especially incantation. But I mostly use spell.
Yeah, two distinction sorceries and then incantations. There's some
Right.
hits and misses in both, but boy, sorcery be flashy. Be
The sorceries
El-
were amazing. That's what I ended up using the most. And they have the most appeal to them too, right? They're the more offense. Well, I wouldn't say offensive based ones, but they're the ones they're flashy, like you said. They
Yeah,
they're
flashy. They
flashy.
look
flashy
they look
and
nice.
they slap.
They
I
do
would
hit.
argue that incantation is more flashy because they have like the madness
That
incantation,
that
the
madness. Ooh, ooh,
the
ooh,
black
ooh, ooh,
flame
ooh.
incantation. Like some
Yeah,
of the
there's some
stuff
flashy
just look awesome.
incantations. Yeah, and then the dragon. Well, dragons are
Well,
hit
the
and miss,
dragons.
Oh,
but
the dragon just
The
the dragon, the one dragon, we all know it's dragon.
the
It's
rot
not so that
dragon.
folks that haven't played. Well,
Nothing
I mean,
else.
I wasn't gonna try to spoil it for folks, but yes.
This is a spoiler cast. This is a spoiler, non-spoiler free place. If you were here,
but
you better
then
get. You
we
better
we
plug your
we
ears
already
up.
beat
You
the
better
game.
plug it
Yeah.
up.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's true, yeah, but that raw dragon was the only one true dragon. I'm like, they messed up on these dragon spells. I'm sorry,
They did. They did.
they
They
did.
did.
But
They did.
that's for another section. That's the next section, or I don't know. We'll look at the game plan. It'll come up.
It'll come up. It definitely will come up. And I guess for me, I only did one. So out of everyone here, I did the least amount. I was streaming this game the entire time. So I did one playthrough. I finished up with about 86% of the trophies, which was more than I thought I was, which is a lot more than I thought. Um, and then I did a all around build. I am proud to say I did an all around build because it very much fits my personality personally. But yeah, I went through these phases from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, and we'll get into that. Where I honestly I didn't want to run strength. I wanted to do dex, right? So I had a lot in dex, and then, uh, some of the swords were like, hey, you might want to have some of that intelligence in it, And I was like, okay, let me get my intelligence up, and then I got those blades, them Radon blades, and I said, oh, I need strength now. So then I'm getting my strength, and then I was like, ooh, the dragons, they are alluring me. I want to commune more. And that's when I started getting my faith up. And then next thing I know, I've got stats and everything, and I'm like, I think all of my stats ended up around 30s to 40s. Strength probably had the most, and I was using, of course, a couple items to buff it up a little bit more. So, but for the most part, there wasn't anything I couldn't use outside a couple of the spells, the
Yeah.
really big ones, like the
Yeah, like
Kamehameha.
the Kamehameha is like 60 intelligence.
Yeah.
I was like anything 60, 50 intelligent. I ain't going there. Nah, bro. I'm good. And then like I said, one run through that was kind of like my build, and what I'm like, I wrote this question. What else was left? Hours. I was around. Steam says 200 hours, but the game clock
Man,
says 800. No,
wait, what?
186. Sorry.
I was like, excuse me.
I was like, what?
I might need to stop relying on Steam's clock then, because this
I
thing
left
is just
mine. I left
wrong.
mine running for a long time. A long
See,
time.
yeah, AFK. Yeah, AFK can
I
happen. But some
AFK'd
you
a
just
long
find
time.
a good spot and you step away like ain't nothing gonna kill me, or I'll just be chilling at this rest point.
800 no 180 hours. That was my playtime. So that's our kind of a background. And then of course, we each came from different backgrounds in terms of what from series games we've played. I have not played any of the Dark Souls games. I played a bit of Demon Souls, but I wouldn't really say anything about that because it wasn't enough to really count.
The
My
remake or
No, the original. The original.
Oh, the original. Okay.
Demon's Souls.
Demon's Souls. My Demon's Souls. So for me, my background goes from Sekiro and Bloodborne, beating those two.
Sekiborn enters the land in between.
Interesting. People say those are the hardest ones. So I'm like, okay. What about you, Soldat?
For me, I own pretty much all the From games. Well, of the newer generation, because From's been around for a hot minute.
Yeah, I was
Armored
playing.
Core.
Yeah,
have Armored Core?
Dude, it was messed
I
up.
played Armored Core back in the day, and I didn't even know what that was from. That's the that's the hilarious thing. I was like, "Yo, mech game, this and that. This is close as Gundams I'm gonna get as a kid." I was like, "Yo, this is fun."
That was.
And did not know that it was the same folks that did the Kingsfield, didn't even know Kingsfield existed.
I didn't either.
Same
man.
control scheme too. So it's, they've been working on their formula. But
dude,
anyway,
it was yeah.
Of the new age, mine was just Demon's Souls. I plat that game back in the day when it came out. That was my first game I had for my PS3. Was it 3? PS3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, the PS3. And I was like, I got that game before I even had a PS3 and said, I put this on the promise. One day I'm gonna have a system to play this on. And I did. And I plat that game. I was like, yo, that was experience. And I was like, all right, I'll support, So all these Dark Souls came out, and I was like, all right. Just sat on and waited for them, got them on PC and such and other ways. Never played them. Now I'll get to them eventually. Bloodborne came out, bought it. I'll get to it eventually. Backlog on backlog, and it's like, yo, Elden Ring, the compilation of everything. All right, I'm going in. So my next set, I'm platinum this thing. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna get all the iterations in one shot, and that's why I came as I entered the lands between a tarnish and over now.
I like that. Hey, what about you, man? What's your background?
For me, I played Dark Souls 1 when it came out. I didn't beat it because I was still like a kid. And then I played Bloodborne. Probably one of the best experience I have with playing a game. And then after that, I played Sekiro. It's also a really good game. After that, is Godwin from software?
No, that
No,
is
Godwin is
Bandai.
not.
No.
Godwin is
Same
Bandai
publisher.
Namco.
Same publisher.
Same publisher. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just that and Elden Ring, and I platinum Elden Ring too.
There we go. I mean, like these games are, like once you start them, it's really hard not to, because like they're so good that it makes you want to go back and platinum them, or play them more, or just experience things that you haven't experienced because there's so much stuff to get lost in. And similarly, like I didn't realize like Soldat, like Armored Core was from Soft until I remember buying that game before I had a PS2, bringing the instruction manual to school, reading it, and showing my friends like I'm getting this game for my PS2. And I've played all the Armored Cores, at least all the PS2 ones, and beat those. And when I thought about the Millennia Battle, I was like, you know what? This optional secret battle. So I was like, this is optional, right? I remember this one mech. I was like,
boy,
this Gundam
he didn't know.
freaking mech that just ran a train on me. Similarly, and the Moonlight Blade. Anyways, I mean, they're just wonderful games in general, but they're always difficult in some way or another. But moving on to like our first impressions, because I think this game had a lot to live up to. After the first trailer, it was arguably one of the most anticipated games of all time for at least 2-3 years. I mean, for a while, right?
Cyberpunk.
Outside of Cyberpunk, yeah.
Outside Cyberpunk, and then they said we got to do this one right, and so they said,
we got to
hold back, right. And the whole world said, "You understand, fam? Take your time." Everyone put their hands on. They prayed on Elden Ring. Everyone was like a church. Let's put our hands to give a prayer that the Lord will bless this venture. Because we don't want to see that Cyberpunk ish again, ever again.
Did they?
FromSoft.
I was gonna say, did this game actually get? It was one delay, right? They had one delay for Elden Ring, correct?
Yes, one major delay.
When is it?
Yeah, they remember. I think they said that there was like the game was gonna. I remember right near when it was supposed to come out. They said it would be a delay, like what, like a month?
It's a month. I think it was supposed to be January 21st, January something, but then it got pushed to February.
January.
And it was near when it was like a few months before like it was supposed to happen. They're like, hey, there's gonna be a delay. And everyone's like, take your time, fam.
At this
no
point,
one said anything. They're just like, take your time. We don't know what this game is gonna be. Take your time. Cause we saw Cyberpunk.
I like the fact that Horizon Forbidden West was probably like, all right, we good, we clear, man. You know, people gonna be playing this game,
Yeah.
and by the time they get done, we gonna be there to pick up the
Oh,
pieces.
man.
Nah, they got dusted,
That's it. I think
dusted again, not just once. This is the second time.
You're like,
What?
he's like, everyone's like, hey, Horizon Zero Dawn, it's gonna be great, and like everyone like, yeah, it's cool.
Damn.
Dun, dun,
They have
dun,
a
dun,
very
dun,
bad
dun.
timing.
Everyone hopped on torrent and rolled away from the land of the future.
No. Once again. So the first time it was Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild
ended up coming out later, and they hopped on another horse then. And then this time, Torrent was like, "I got y'all, fam.
I'm here.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
you
take
here?
y'all
Like
to a
you
better
said you were.
place."
Like, yeah, I'm here now. There might be a little bugs here and there. It's like, but it's complete. Let's roll.
Let's roll. So first impressions. We'll start with Ehe on this one. Like, what were your first impressions hopping into the Lands Beyond, and what, like, when you started, what was going through your mind?
So, I wasn't even hyped for the game.
I'm similar. I wasn't
back in January, and then I saw like some of the beta, some of the net process. Like, hold on, this looks kind of clean. And then I get the game on like day one. It's either day one or day two. Played it. The first time I opened the door from the what's it called, the cave, Cave of Knowledge,
tutorial cave.
the first step.
Yeah.
To Limgrave.
Or that actual.
It was glitchy.
That wasn't for me. Dang. You walked out in the world of glitches.
One of the glitchiest
areas. I was about to
promises.
say something beautiful, but no, it's just like for the first time, it's just a stuttery mess. I'm like, okay, I mean, it's day one. They're gonna patch it out soon. But I mean, yeah. But when the first time I opened that door, it's just like I feel like the world just opened up for me. It's like when you play Breath of the Wild and you go from the plateau to the actual land, and I was like, okay, this is just the Breath of the Wild feeling right there.
Breath
And then
of
I
the
saw
Wild 4K.
this guy riding a horse. I stupidly just attacked him and I died from that guy.
You
What's it
attacked
called again?
Is he a tree sentinel?
The tree sentinel. Yeah.
You attacked that man.
Like that won't be a boss.
Man, I
he must
can't
be a
beat
normal
this guy.
enemy. I mean, normal enemy's big in this game.
But I mean, like, there is something to be said about like the mini bosses or anything in this game. You know, you shouldn't mess with it, but your mind says, "Let me test this."
I don't know. Yeah, I just feel confident.
I don't
So I
know.
just hit him.
I came outside and said, "Ooh, hey, he must be a normal type enemy. You know, maybe an elite. He can't be that bad. He can't be like, you know, that hard knight at the very beginning of Boletaria Darks and Demon Souls, right? Oh, this game playing like that. Dang,
This game playing like that.
shit.
Man was slapping. He said, "Come back to me later.
Later." I'm a magician. I could just range him. Throw out some RS Tori, a fate level shield. What the fuck? Snipe by my own magic. It's like, this game, FromSoft started getting sadistic. This is a whole new ballpark. I don't know what the fuck I'm playing now.
I died from that man once, and I just moved along. I didn't even.
Mhm.
I didn't even
You know
gonna
what?
try it
Maybe
anymore.
maybe
Like, okay,
that
the game just humbled me for a second. So
The
I'm
game-
just gonna
the-
go.
Yep.
it humbled
I'm
you.
just
It
gonna
taught you
go.
one of the most important things that you could ever learn in that game. If you having trouble, go away.
Walk away.
Walk away.
Yeah, walk away. This is not your
More so
problem
in this
now.
one.
Yeah.
So I just explored Limgrave for a bit, and then I came back. Got destroyed again by that man. That's still
Dude,
I explored again, and I finally beat that guy.
You like,
and it
this is
was
supposed to be
so
my benchmark,
satisfying.
right?
That dude, man. I think I did about I actually beat the first boss at that point, and I came back thinking, okay, this dude should be a little bit easier. And it was just like, I was fighting the stuttering issues of the game at that point, because that area, I don't know how it was just bad. Let's just face it, that area was bad.
I don't know why, but the first Limgrave area was just so bad with stuttering.
It's kind of crazy because if you go up to the church area in front of him, the issues go away. So
Yeah.
I would have to like lead him to the church and then be like, all right, we can only fight in this area, because if we go anywhere else, bro, I don't have confidence I can rotate the camera.
I must have been blessed because I didn't get stuttering there. I mean, I got to enjoy the full breadth of it. And I mean, there was some stuttering just during gameplay. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
And I was tripping. I'm like, I put in 1K for this 3080. I'm supposed to be the one true chosen of the tarnish. Like, this is supposed to be the premium experience. This game better be running like butter. Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know, is the RTX is messing with it? There ain't no RTX in this game. What is going on? I
I
paid too
mean,
much money
we
for stuttering.
we already knew that the minimum
Was it 12
what is it called?
gigs?
The 12 gigs, yeah, the minimum memory requirement is like 12 gigs of RAM.
Which they don't use. Let's face it, they don't use.
Yeah,
But they also weren't using the
Really?
graphics card for a while.
I
I
mean,
feel like they were using
they were
the
using that
12 gig
graphic card because my
memory
room
RAM.
heated up like when I played Control at max. So I was like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm getting that heat. I'm like, I'm getting that
Really,
heat. This
my
game is
PC didn't
pushing.
heat up too much, but I mean, like, I never saw anything. I'm like, okay, we really got to have this at 12 gigs. Like, what are we running over here for 12 gigs? Maybe it's the
I feel
world,
like
streaming
they
the world.
did use it because of you know how
And the
they
world itself being
load up the
seamless.
world. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing I can
Now,
think of, maybe, right?
the scale of the world and holding all the states just as a Souls game would be, or a Souls game when it
Apparently,
hits something like a
they also render the dungeon too. So like the dungeon behind the door, they already render
Okay.
that too.
I will say
yeah.
I was really
There's
impressed
no
that
loading screens.
for the most part, there's no loading screens. And but what was really impressive is that you don't really see any like assets popping in. There's not a lot of pop in. I don't think I saw textures
What?
popping in.
I
I
didn't notice it
did.
at all.
I saw some textures, but that was just me. Like remember,
Oh,
like
that snow
especially
environment. Yeah, there's
Snow
the
environment,
shaders.
and then
Yeah.
The shaders are
sometimes when
messed
you
up
first
there.
load in from a grace, things sometimes load in. You're like,
Yeah,
but then it didn't do that from that point on. But I was like, guys, this is 2022, and
improve
I'm
your
on max
engine.
settings. My it should be instant. Like,
Yeah,
and there were sometimes it was like that, but then there's sometimes there weren't. You're like, do I need to call the game? I don't know, but didn't hurt the game. Just made you wonder.
yeah.
Like, is it me or is it the game's design?
And I mean, kind of going off of Ehe's point about opening that first door and seeing Limgrave and just being introduced. They do such a wonderful job of that, and that every scenic vista. I mean, almost every point in this game, you could take a screenshot and just feel like you're on a journey. This is epic, and they set so much of that stuff up. I mean, what were some of your favorite places that you
I
saw,
think
like
once you were
that made that
streaming
first
and
impression for you?
I think once you were streaming, I was like, Trix, just stop and look at the scenery, and you were like, oh my god.
I was stopping every
I
2
was like,
seconds.
oh
That's what slowed me
no,
down in the
yeah.
game. I was
I don't
stopping,
know.
looking at
Yeah.
everything.
Just taking a break and just turning your camera to look to the main Erd tree.
I feel like
Mm.
one of my favorite part of the game was Liurnia of the Lake. Liurnia of the Lakes.
Oh
If you
man.
saw it from the like the upper side,
Yes,
not from the bottom, that place looks so beautiful.
that place was something.
See, for me, I wound up. Let's see, did I go there? I went there just to explore and get more, exploring more power, and because for the one best thing about the game, you can go anywhere.
You
There's
can
only a
nothing's
few
capped
things
off.
there's
just
only
from
a
the
very
start.
few things that are gated in that game.
Yep.
Very few.
It's like
Maybe
Lendl, right?
Lindell and the mountaintop of the Giants are the
Yeah,
two
one
things
side.
Yeah.
that are gated. Everything else, there is at least two ways, at minimum, to
Yeah,
get
at
to
least
any
2 ways.
location.
Mm-hmm.
At least two. There might be three. There might be more, but at least two different ways. In the world, and your views differ. So I went to Linear to Lakes through the back road because I was like, at first I thought the map was showing me. It's like, oh, I have to go through this horrible castle of death. And then someone's like, "Nah, man, there's a path around." I was like, excuse me, yeah, check around. And you start exploring and checking around. I was like, oh my god, they
Yeah.
actually, and there's actual some people noting like, oh yeah, if you keep going this way, you can find a path. I'm like, what? Oh, I got choices.
you can
Yeah.
completely ignore the first dungeon. You can completely
I did.
ignore
That's
Stormfist
actually what happened to me.
Castle.
I ended up going around the castle because I thought it was like a secret path that would lead into it or something, and then it's just like, wait, there's a church right there, and I realized I checked the map. I'm behind the castle. Oh, I can keep going forward, and I was like, and Spoonie, another Elden Lord on the stream. Hey, you also got a shout out in the comments on YouTube. So hey, with that the special love here.
Oh, that's probably
it-
one of my friends.
For those of us with the friends.
Damn.
But no, it was like he actually explored, I think, south of Limgrave, and then he went
Weeping Peninsula?
past the castle, the Weeping Peninsula, and then he went to Limnaria, and then he came back to Stormvale Castle, and I was like, I didn't even explore the Weeping Peninsula. I didn't get there for a little bit.
I mean, it took me a hot minute just to understand how the map system worked,
Yeah,
how to
same for me
find
too.
new maps.
Oh, getting the map stones.
Yeah, the map stone,
fact,
which again was genius. But if I mean, there was nothing really. I don't know if there was any indicator in the tips as you were starting, but that was one of the things you had to figure out from just observation. That this little this little symbol is where the stone is. I was like, oh,
Everything on the
oh,
map
okay,
is
cool,
yeah.
cool.
You
everything.
can
I
you
was like,
can just
that's
okay. That's
innovative.
you can I can find it.
And all this stuff kind of goes to like our first impressions because everything in this game, you really are just finding out stuff and going like, because like every once in a while I look at the map and I'd be like, okay, these are ruins. This is probably where a cave is. This is, oh, that is
The
where you get the
map was
map. So
peak.
the map, it's
My
drawn
first,
just like a what would you call it? Like a Lord of the Rings, kind of like one of those R.R. Tolkien maps. An
it's a
R.R.
fantasy style
Tolkien
map,
map.
but it's
Goodness
an
gracious.
accurate fan. It's
Okay.
it's an accurate like fantasy. If you're like playing a game of D&D, like a well detailed high res map, well, not high res, but a high detail map.
Yeah.
As in, these little squares and such look like ruins are actually ruins in the game. This isn't any. There's no what's the word? There's no artistic. There's like
Yeah, there's no
you know
artistic anything. This is done by a cartographer, basically, kind of deal.
it's done by the actual cartographers, and this is what you
Yeah.
would post up in your room, and it'd be legitimately accurate to all the locations. And so, if you saw like a little more, I call them little Sauron marks. Those were actually like mines or like major spots of interest. So the
Mm-hmm.
game, my first impression was like, oh, this game is well threaded because I'm coming in like, okay, this is open world FromSoft, bro. I'm gonna be lost because From don't hold your hand.
They don't.
FromSoft games do not hold your hand. So I was like, well, damn, I'm just gonna be lost and just gonna get murdered all over the place. I don't know where to go. And the game at least tutorializes you through the first little cave. They
Mm-hmm.
give you little bases of combat so you don't feel completely lost. And then once they hop out, you have a few NPCs that give you the lowdown going, hey, some of these places are going to kind of generally direct you to places where you should go. And you're like, oh, okay, dang, From's actually giving some user accessibility in the game. This is a
Yeah.
first.
They also have
Okay.
that. They also have that. What's it called the Guardian of the Grace.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Yeah,
Guide in the
yeah, the
Grace.
game tells you right up front, like,
So
hey, if these grace
Yeah, just
points,
go
some of
there,
them
go
will
there, go
literally
there.
show you little arcs, and it's like, and then to double up, the one NPC you see up front says, hey, you should probably slide over to this castle. The grace
I
will
thought
lead you there.
I thought the
I was
first
like,
time
huh,
it just gonna guide me to like
a
a
a
specific
death zone.
no like a story part of the area. So I thought
Mhm.
it was just gonna be just the story thing, but I found out that it just point to different direction. I was like, okay, this is interesting.
It
yeah.
points you to actual key spots of interest. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Well,
and if you,
I was gonna say, I mean that is the case. It points you to all the. So very early, you learn. I mean, in the very beginning of the game, I mean, you do learn about the shard bearers and who the shard
Mhm.
bearers are and how many there are and where you don't know where they're located until a certain point, but you do know that these grace points are like bonfires, your save points in the game, that they
Mhm.
will be guiding you to those points specifically. So
Mhm.
sometimes if you don't find them in the right order, it'll be like you can kind of triangulate yourself on the map. Like that's actually where the boss is. Um,
Mm.
because
and
they
I thought
actually
that
show on the
was
map too.
genius. Yeah, I thought that
The
was
lines.
genius.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the fact that they don't leave you out on as long, because the people that will tell you that are pretty much right up front. Your first major NPC that gives you levels is like, if you follow this point, because you actually have to go to a specific grace point to actually get homegirl to join your crew. I learned that the hard way because I
Oh
played
yeah,
through and
yeah.
started slap. I
You
thought
can
on
actually you
round
can
three,
actually
I was
just
rolling through, did 3/4 of the game. Like, yo, where my level up at?
where's her? Oh, what's her
Oh,
name? Melina.
dang. Yeah,
Melina.
Yeah,
Melina.
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 Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
can miss.
Melina.
You can miss her. You can miss Torrent. You can miss yo
Well,
summons.
fortunately, New Game Plus, you already had all that stuff. So I'm just like,
You
man,
can
I got
miss
a lot
them.
of rooms. It's time to cash in. Where's my level up line?
Which
I was
yeah.
looking hard for that. Where my level up? Oh man, I gotta backtrack and figure out where this girl at. Oh my gosh.
Which is kind of weird. I don't know how that worked for you all in terms of because I looked up and found them, but I didn't realize I was even in a basically a church at that point. But you find them and you're like, I could have missed this, and people have missed it. You missed it, and it's not a bad thing. But what do you feel about something so core to
It
the
was.
game being something you can just walk past?
Well,
I didn't even know about pots.
apparently for Millennia, she's just gonna show up after like you already lit up like not a certain type, yeah, like a certain amount of set of
Oh,
grace, as he just gotta
yeah.
show up after that.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought, but no, I hit like 10 or 12. I was going through the
But,
game literally and burned through and like took out Radon, took out like
Wait, you
I
went?
took out a few shard bearers on New
How
Game
did
Plus
you?
3.
Oh,
no,
oh,
New
okay,
New
on
Game
Game
New Game.
Plus
Plus.
3.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't
I was
know
saying
if they
like first time
if they
around.
I
That would
don't
have been
know if
something
they
else.
force it. I don't know if they force it on the first game, but she is locked to the one right outside the Grace, right
Yeah, right outside the
by.
first step, right by the first merchant you find, right?
See, maybe it's that one, but it's also possibly the one in front of going towards
The gate, yeah,
Stormvale. Yeah, the gate.
yeah,
The
the
Oh,
gate.
gate,
okay,
she was
okay.
sure to pop out. I don't know if she's assured to pop out at the church. Church, of course, where you see Ronnie. If you set
Yeah,
up at
this
night,
Yeah, we set up
but
at night.
after
that's
seeing
the
him,
console right there.
yeah. I mean, so I don't know if they lock it specifically in a certain way for New Game Plus, but I feel like it's probably the same difference. So that's the only thing. If it is, then it should have been purely off of after X sites, she will appear. That'll be
Right.
the only QOL, if those two things will correlate, because I can't confirm at this point. I'm not playing as a clear file. I'm sorry, I'm done. Not in that way.
I'm done.
I'm not gonna make another character. I'm just
I'm
gonna
done.
respec my character.
But
Another pro.
If you're still talking about the intro of the game, what do you
Yeah.
guys feel about the epic intro at the start?
you get slapped down.
The Gideon, how the what's it called, the narrative, how the narrative is like,
Oh, the first cutscene.
Oh,
yeah,
the first
cutscene.
the first
Oh.
cutscene is great
Ooh.
because when you watch it again in context and you see
It's
extra scenes
so-
that you were
Yeah,
missing.
you guys see how
It's so
Yeah, when you
much
see
stuff.
when you see the ring being shattered by America, then she immediately the next image of the drawing is her as Bradagon. I was like, oh my god!
I
what?
went back. I went
I
back and
missed
I looked
that.
at it.
I was like, dang, America was swole. I thought she was just swole AL. I was like, obviously she had to be strong. She's an Armstrong to break a ring of that magnitude.
Well, the thing
No.
was like I didn't understand. Here's the thing about the intro. It's really nicely done, but you don't understand
go.
much. You don't.
That first hit
I didn't
is
I didn't
America.
understand nothing
And
about it.
then
I
the
was like,
second
oh,
hit-
good music and it looks cool.
Bam, Radagon, swole
Yeah.
AF.
If you go back to the intro after you beat it for the first time, you're gonna understand some context of it.
You
You
understand
some
so
context
much.
and see a lot more. You're like, oh,
You
I did
understand
not
who's
see that
actually
first time.
talking too. You you understand. Okay, this is
Gideon
Godfrey.
Opener.
Yeah, that's
I
Gideon.
think
That's,
Gideon.
he's. Oh, it's
Yeah.
Gideon who's that narrator.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
Gideon.
Gideon
Who's
That was Gideon.
all
Yeah.
across the. Yeah, they yells to the come ye all tarnish. I was like,
Wait,
that's
wait.
Gideon. I
I'm
was like,
I'm,
okay.
I'm confused.
There
So
it is, yeah.
so wait.
Ye tarnish.
So-
Lost by
But he also
grace.
calls his own name at one point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's all
That's-
knowing. He like
That's why I was like, what the fuck?
that part is my favorite part of the intro.
I didn't
because-
realize-
because you
It
noticed
just
he raised his voice. It was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Gideon off near the all knowing." It's like this man hyped himself. This
I thought it was
this,
Godfrey for a moment.
this
Yeah.
I mean,
bastard.
But you see pretty much everything here. This is like I said, this cutscene right here at the very beginning of the game. It tells you essentially the shard bearers, who they are. Bro, hold up. I gotta stop on my boy, my dynasty. The dynasty man over here.
Pause
look
right
at,
there.
No, look
No,
at
no,
his
it's the same.
eyes. Look how evil this
Mikola
man
is
Woo.
smaller in that scene. That
Yeah,
gives you context
Mikola
about
looks
the
like
thing.
is very much a
An
child.
actual infant. Yes, a
Isn't-
small
Very
hand.
much a child.
He is actually a child, and like
He's cursed with eternal
Small.
childhood, but at the same
Yeah.
time, that man was playing everybody.
Yeah, because
I bet he
Mikola
sent- he
was
sent
on
her- I bet he
a
sent his sister
quest.
away so that he gets stole. 5 head. No, Mikola's 5 head. Like he geese,
Yeah.
he be geesing everyone. He geesed his sister because it says straight up he has a way to make everyone love him. I'm like, oh Lord, this man's doing some cold geese on everybody. Shit, I'm glad we didn't have to fight him. Or are we already working for him? Or are we already working for him?
Oh,
No, you're gonna
man.
realize in DLC you're already working for him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we go
It's gonna
in
be a
too much on
covenant.
this, because this is actually lore stuff. I didn't,
The
we
deep
even have
lore.
the like Radigan, right? Not Radigan, but Rykard right there with the snake and everything. I was like, okay,
Together.
together we will. We should put the dynasty and the
should devour-
together.
The one ending I was surprised we didn't get. I wanted the Age of Serpents.
Oh,
As
Yeah,
a valid ending.
yeah,
why
the
couldn't
manor.
we-
The manor was just
do
gone.
the
Like,
manor ending.
I mean, it would have been bad ending, but I still would like it. Like, yo, we
I
should
would
just
like
show
it,
the
yeah.
Erd, show the
DLC?
Erd train just being devoured by the snake.
potential DLC. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
if
I
they
mean,
give us another, if they give us another
Orochimaru
ending to
ending.
get, I'd be kind of happy. I ain't gonna lie.
who knows? I
I have to shout out my boy Dung Eater. This
Boy, Dung Eater, and in this intro, as he got lynched, I was like,
Man.
He got lynched at the beginning and
Yo,
the
man,
end.
everyone got done dirty. It's like, because you didn't know that all these folks had died.
Yeah.
Like, not
That
every
they had
single
died.
one of
Like
them got died.
That was
Horal
Yeah.
Horalu, the chieftain of the
Horalu got
Bad
dead.
Life.
Horalu died like a G in his intro.
Horalu. I want to give a
That
shout out to
guy.
Horalu being
Yeah,
just like
Horalu just got
the
crucified.
only
straight
G,
up.
man. The only G in this game. Well, there are some G's, but
Only.
that dude
Yeah,
was
my
he
boy
was
Bob's a
true.
G. I don't care.
My man was
that
like
it?
true.
You know, it's a gold mask got poisoned.
Yeah, Gold Mask. Gold Mask.
I love how Gold
Gold
Mask
Mask.
gets a shout out
Gold
here,
Mask,
but
yeah,
says no words.
It doesn't look like Fia got murdered, but you know, in
Fia, the
context.
bad companion.
Yeah,
And
but
then
Dung
we
Eater,
go
yeah,
into
he
the
is
Dung
loathsome.
Eater.
He is loathsome.
Man, I was like,
Boy.
what the hell
And
is
the
this game
Gideon,
talking about? I was like,
so Gideon the all-knowing.
We gotta rein it back in. We gotta rein it back in.
Who eat poop again?
Hold on.
The lonesome poop
We
eater?
gotta rein this back
Lucy
in.
Poopy boy.
Okay.
Poopy
Okay.
boy.
So we had our first impressions. I think we were all, for the most part, pretty. And I mean, like, so that, do you want to give your first impressions? Did we kind of
my
give
first
yours?
impressions
Okay,
were
yeah.
you kind of got mine, but all right. So I'm starting in. Crank up this intro. I'm like, all right, this is a cool intro. Not really getting the concept of what's going
Dung
on.
Eater.
Yeah. Other than loathsome
Dude got
dung
lynched.
eater, like, okay, this man got lynched. I hope I never see him. I did get that context, and boy, when I did, I said, yes, this was a good thought I had. But you know, the intro was like, okay, that's a cool context of how we come in. Somehow we got this grace. We're walking in. Didn't know the context. We had died. Little stuff we didn't know. It's going in, starting off, getting slapped. I'm like, all right, classic From Software, trying to humble me real quick. Not mad. Intro, open up to this new world. I'm like, oh my god, it's bright. That's the first thought that came to mind. This
It's
world
bright?
is bright. That's weird. That was my first thought. It's like, it's beautiful. It's amazing. This says this world is broken. Something's wrong. I like this. I got to figure out what's going on here, because that's the whole thing. Because From games will always have dark atmosphere. From games have always been dark and dreary, and you're something of a nothing. And this one is like, all right, you're nothing, but you got a path going on ahead of you, and this world is, you're gonna fix it, and it looks pretty nice up front. Like, oh dang, okay, I got to figure out the secret.
R.R. Martin had some influence around. Of course, he was doing a lot, basically the lore building, but a lot. Apparently, some of the color palettes, like the look of this world, is something that he crafted with Miyazaki. But yeah, gold is everywhere. Gold and this kind of
everywhere.
Yeah, gold is everywhere, unless it isn't. But then that's a whole theme in itself, which good story, lore story. But yeah. But like, just the fact that the world was so bright was such a flip for the normal From Software formula that it had me intrigued. I was like, all right, I'm not sure. This world is going to be something else to look into, because normally you're just starting off with this, the world is a horrible, effed up place, and you just in it. Now it's like, now you got to call the task to fix up this. And you're like, well, dang, this looks pretty damn good. All right, let's see what the journey entails. And that draws you in. And that was my start. I didn't have a horrible staggering. I saw that horse. I was like, okay, well, this is the first intro area. That dude's an elite. All right, let's see what I can do. Full boss bar. Their bosses just straight up walk 2 steps away, and they're bosses in this game? Shit, man, we're gonna have content for ages if that's how it is. You just walk a few steps and there's just bosses. I wonder if they respawn. Just the questions. The game just started me off on a good question grind. And I'm a big picture person, so I was like, this is gonna be an adventure. Full out. And it looks like there's content around. Oh man, we ain't about to have no sparse world up in this one. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that was my first impression.
Yeah, you can get so immersed into the game because of just the atmosphere itself.
I think that
I think why the world is way more calmer than Dark Souls, because Dark Souls game is they are at the end of their ages, like they are at their apocalypse, they are at their end time. And
this game we bringing it about.
Dark Souls, like world, they have the world as it's a society that is civilization built on top of each other. That's why they crumble real quick. But for Elden Ring, they only have one civilization, and that's the one we're playing on now. Yeah.
Yeah, we learn about them dragons, and we learn about the
Crucible.
We learn about the orders.
There's a lot of ages actually, and you're like, whoa. Well, that's going to the lore. But no, like you're saying, this is a world that has had a major crisis event, but has not ended.
Yeah,
it's in a warring states period. And you're like, okay, well, you're going to be the one that they'll bring, like possibly or have a part in reestablishing this chaos state, and that's where they are Martin style of all these houses are at unrest. Well, let's see if we can get the land back on a path. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. It was just so different. I was like, man, I'm ready to figure out what's going on. And then the game subverts that George R. Martin style into the From formula,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh,
When
dang,
you
there are
find out-
layers.
When you
There
find
are
out
layers.
all the family, you're like, oh, well, I thought these were some separate folk. I thought some of them were related. And then you realize, nah, man, these the children, bro. And this is what happened. And then they did this, and then that happened. I'm like, oh, snap.
And there's some nether dirty bomb happening. Like, wait,
There-
dirty bombs.
Oh
What the
There's
yeah.
some dirty.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like, but there's
They
chemical
do,
warfare.
yeah.
No, go over to hit that chest over here in the nice happy land. Let's see you pop out. Oh my God, is that an eclipse in the sun? And now there's technically no eclipse here, but you might as well believe there is one. Oh my God,
The
what
land
the-
of rot itself, freaking
Oh,
ooh,
golly,
death
ugh,
and rot. Caleb,
death and rot.
man, has such. I mean, and that goes into my just impressions in general. Is every area of this game, every major area has a look. I mean, the world overall has a
Minus
theme.
one.
Oh
Minus
yeah,
one.
minus one.
Minus one.
Nice one misses that.
Every world, like I'll bounce off that. Every world had its theme. Every world had a moment of breathtaking when you hit it. Minus one.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Oh,
Well,
which one is that? Which one is that?
Mountain Top of the
Galaxy?
Giants.
Oh,
Nah.
Mountain of a Giant? Okay.
Really, really.
The Forbidden Lands leading there had me going, oh
The
dang,
fog?
we entering into the
Friggin' fog
and
and-
yeah, because it's too much fog. I mean, and that's the weather effect that you can kind of sleep through, but you didn't know that. So you're like, oh, this land is gonna be obscured, and that was okay because you're going through the unknown. That was the theme of the Forgotten Land, that little
Right,
stopgap
right.
into the mountain, and then you hit the mountains, and you're like, oh wait, actually, the mountains were all right.
The mountains are all right.
It was the secret mountains that were hot garbage.
Oh yeah.
The consecrated
one-
snowfields.
Oh,
The ones that you've been
how
working
you
for
get
the whole
into high
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. That's where
that whole part was a little lackluster all the way.
where
through.
wait, where the
Not gonna
Giants
lie.
are, right? Where actually all the Giants are kind
I
of
mean,
resting
technically they're both.
area?
It's the whole
Or
the
the
consecrated
entire-
where the consecrated were homegirls people on the
Yeah,
Princess
yeah.
Mononoke's.
The one
Princess
before
Mononoke.
the one before Alex 3. The one before Alex
Yeah.
3.
before Millennia's area, the secret area.
Oh, that
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was like
It
yeah,
was a little
because there's
sparse.
it's really sparse. There's actually it made me think that there were I missed a lot of stuff because and I maybe I did, but there aren't a lot of grace points there either. And
There's
I
only
was
like
just
3. There's only like about 4
Yeah.
dungeons. 4
There's only a
dungeons, one
few.
little rise, and then the main area. Now they had that one set piece to get into there was cool. That was
yeah,
unique.
getting into there was something and
And the little small quest that you had that you could take as a side quest gave it some depth, as in some feel, because you were actually on a pilgrimage. But the whole area as a whole, with the whole storm effects, that just killed your vision. The random freaking ghost giants that just bitch slapped you to death, and you're like, what?
Or I
Like,
ran
it
away
was
from
just a
him
lot of-
one time, and I was like, I know when I see one of these, somebody's
Hey,
summoning
listen,
them. Go kill the summoner.
You
Go
could
kill
run
the
if
summoner.
if you can see them because you're in a snowstorm. All of a sudden,
That's all I
Huh?
said. Oh, clap them, get clapped,
Oh,
clap them.
Yeah.
or you just run off into oblivion because you didn't check your map because you can't see. There was a
There-
few issues with that one there, but Mountain Top of the Giants was cool because of ghost animals. And you're like, so they
Yeah,
there
the
was
ghost
some
animals,
elements that
ghost trees.
made you go,
like it was
"What the
it was a
hell?"
very ethereal place. Like
surreal.
yeah, it definitely had that going for it. But yeah, in Caelid Sky, it's just all red. Like you know, like I do not
It's
want to be here.
Earthland.
Some crap
Oh,
happened
man.
here.
And especially if you got tricked into, or you got warped there. That was
Oh,
perfect.
I
set
did get
dressing.
warped there. Oh, I
That
got
was
warped
one thing
there.
I love the
There's
set
definitely
dressing.
a lot of people there.
Yeah, a lot of
Oh.
people got warped there, and they knew. They knew.
And you
exactly
come out,
what they
you
were
come out,
doing.
and because I think when you get warped there, the exit to that little cave, like to go back out the not the
Was
completing
hell.
the dungeon.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
just-
like a lake of
yeah,
it's one of the it's like a lake of blood almost. It's like what the
Yeah.
fudge is this? It's a lake of rot, but you
You're
look
like,
at it
we're
like
not in
like, yeah.
Kansas anymore.
time to teleport back out. No, we're good.
And they set it up in such a way that you warp in that small little dungeon with those, when you first see those pests and you
Yep,
you
yep.
hate all existence.
I hate
and you're
those still one of the
hey,
worst enemies in the game. Bump it.
Oh,
They
it
are.
is because they have aimbot, and
They
then
do.
you're just like,
They're good with
okay,
Oh yeah,
and-
those insect
and,
guy. I hate
and
those.
you're disoriented, and you're trying to figure out what you need to do. Do you need to go through this dungeon? And then eventually say, I'm out, and
I'm
you
out.
say, I'm out, and you walk outside, and you're like, what is this? Am I still in a dungeon?
And I think it's set
You're
up
like,
to where
nah, you in hell.
I want to say that
You
it's
hell no.
actually set up that you see that lake, but if you turn back a little bit, you actually see a giant skull. I want to say there's a giant skull there too. That's just like on the cliffside, and you're like, oh, fuck this place. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm good.
I found myself in hell, and you think you're in hell, and you're like, nah, you ain't in hell yet. And then you find your way into Bloodman's land. This is hell.
Oh no! I just realized we have 44 minutes. We gotta reel this back in. All right, let me get my first impressions. We're gonna go to our last impressions, then we'll hit the lore. We've kind of hit some of these anyway, so we're kind of on track. But I guess for my first impressions, like I'm like ahead. I wasn't hype about this game at all. I was hyped that it's going to be another entry into the Souls-like series, and I was like, it's gonna be epic or whatever. But this was the first time maybe the first time in a while that I've kind of got on a game, kind of trying to get in on the hype as well. And plus, I was streaming it, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe some people will come and watch. But for the most part, I was like, okay, let's try to be a part of this while everyone's playing, because I've never played a From game when the entirety of the community was playing it, which makes a huge difference in terms of not trying to spoil yourself, but trying to learn, but then also getting advice from other people, which plays a huge thing into it. But that was one of my major reasons for this. You know what? I'm gonna pick it up now. Let's play it. And I think just like you all, like when you open that first door and you just get engrossed in the presentation, the value just is so high, and just running around your horse, just doing things. I was honestly really lost for a lot of the first little bit. Like I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't know if I was fighting properly. They do bring a couple new mechanics in terms of like the stealth, and of course you still have your kind of, it's not instant kill moves, but your backstabs, which I feel like they changed the button or something. I don't know. I got tripped up. I was like, am I pressing the wrong button? And
I don't worry, you weren't there alone. Sometimes like, was I close enough? Did I get the angle wrong? What's happening? Or you heavy them, or you double weapon them, and like, well, there goes that chance.
But they brought the sneaking in from Sekiro, and then they also brought, which I mean, let's face it, you could still probably it works in some places. It works really well. The fact that you're hiding in a bush that's not really that. Anyways,
you can break aggro.
You can break aggro. That's what it does. That's what it does.
Was the poise breaking also pulled from Sekiro? Because I don't remember you being able to really do that much in other Soul and the Demon Souls.
I don't know.
I just hit them hard enough.
Do they have poise breaking in
poise
Dark
breaking?
Souls?
They have poise breaking in Dark Souls and Demon Souls, I think.
Just from hitting them?
I know you can just
because I knew parrying always broke. Yeah, I was like, I don't know if that was tradition was carried all the way through the Dark Souls, but I know in Demon Souls, the only way you can get someone tripped up was just doing the perfect parry.
I feel like the later game, like Dark Souls 3, have it probably.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that was my hype point from my first version hype point was simply coming in from this being the culmination. Basically, everyone said this is everything. Well,
this is the 10-year journey of Souls.
This is the 10-year. Yeah, this is the collective of all the new age Souls games into
engine and
one.
everything, because that's what it is.
And I was like,
the new thing is the guard counter. The guard counter,
which I don't know if they because I skipped it. I was one of those people who missed the first tutorial, the open tutorial.
Which you didn't go to the cave. Yeah, it told you everything, bro.
Yeah,
it told you everything and gave you little pamphlets you can go back to look at. That was the best part. You actually could refer back.
I still didn't understand how to guard. 160 something hours into the game, I did not know how to.
You just
parry.
Press R2.
You just block, and they ding off, and then you get ching, and then you just attack.
But see, for me, I didn't equate that to being a parry. It's a certain type of parry, right? I was thinking it was.
It's not a parry. It's not a parry.
Sorry, guard counter. So I was confusing parry and guard counter, and I didn't know that they were two separate things. And so I was like, don't I need to do the parry exactly when they hit, like just parrying, basically? Because I'm like from Soul Calibur, I'm like just timing. I'm hitting this, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of working sometimes. I don't really get it. But then I noticed that there was that guard, and then I never heard the sound, but I pressed the button, and it was like,
swing.
So what is this thing?
Guard counters. If they hit your they hit your shield, you can attack, and you'll just get frame advantage. Now they ain't gonna break their poise. They can still immediately wind up and beat you back down, but you can get free hits in where you normally would not.
So, I mean, we'll move on to our last impressions, in the sake of time. My first impressions, like I said, I really got involved into it, playing it off stream, on stream, and then just, for me, the main thing, and I think this is for everyone, is, so that you actually kind of mentioned this, every 5 minutes there's something that pops up. whether you see a church and whether you go to that church and there's an invader there, or whether you go to that church and then you see a dungeon on the other side, or whether you go to the dungeon and then you see there's a castle, and then it never stops. And in between there, there's a mini boss. Oh, in between there's a little cavern you can look in. What is all this stuff?
Or
Every
you're like,
5 minutes for the entire
or
game.
you make a plan for yourself and you're like, but there's something right over there. Let me just check that out real quick.
That is the
I guess I need to take
game.
a break for the day. I just burned an hour or two doing some side quests I wasn't expecting to.
And you just and you ask yourself, you can go off the beaten path of the main story, which at any time, follow the lights, follow the guides.
Yep.
It's pretty simple. And you're always rewarded no matter what. Even if there's items, I'll always get excited, like, oh, I'm opening this chest. I don't care what's inside of here, but I'm going to be happy. I might use it. I might not use it. But
and then it's a trap, and then it's a trap, and then you get teleported.
Yeah, day one. So we'll slide with that into the last impressions, where that purple item, and that purple item half the time the game is actually being used as a bait. I like that. I like that fact. Sometimes they have purple items that are just regular. They're just
regular,
rare-ish item. Sacramental blood. Okay, and you get jumped by 50 enemies. You're like, oh.
And you know it too. At one point, you come to expect it. So let's move on to the last impressions, and I'll start with this one. Is around the halfway-ish point of the game. That's Rykard, Lindell, the capital. Rykard for some reason was the boss I spent the most time on Rykard for. Rykard's he's also optional.
You played yourself.
Do it.
All these
the normal pathing would lead you to Godric and Renala. You're ready to complete the game.
I'm over here that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't have to go back in. I felt like I did things that I wanted to do.
You did all the demigods. You did a full clears, essentially.
Apparently, you don't even have to beat Godric and Renala. You can just beat Rykard and not Rykard.
Yeah, you can beat any too.
You can just beat Rodan and do the Rani questline, and then you can get teleported into Lendel from backside, I think.
Yeah, but that's that was back before the wrong glitch happened. They patched that out because to get into Linda proper, you do need 2 rooms. That one room before that Draconic.
Because I think you need
literally says 5. You need in total, 2 great runes.
It's 5.
There's 5 runes total in the game.
5.
Yeah.
There's 5 great runes. You only need 2 to beat the game.
And then after that, our boy Offner was like, "Yeah, man, you want give me some information about these other 2
about the secrets. Show me, get the secrets for me, and
I'll get you some stuff too. I'll give you some stuff too.
Go meet that girl. Go meet that girl in the back of this cave over here. Don't worry about why I know about it. Talk to her. Yeah, she did me dirty. Dang. Oh, that's the blood match.
Yeah. That moment of
that moment of part 1 and 2 is like, he sent the men to take out that village. I can't work for him no more. I'm like, oh, are we the bad guys? I mean, when he started making us go, are we working for the bad guys?
I mean, there's a lot of the times you're thinking to yourself. So we have the whole lore with the. Oh, wait, we're getting into lore now with the 2 fingers.
Oh, sorry.
The tree and all that stuff.
Yeah, but back. So last impressions.
Last impressions. I gotta say, I around that halfway point, there was a little bit of a fatigue happening because I was playing this game every day. I was losing sleep. This game messed up my sleep pattern. I lost
to the club,
sleep.
Brother. The Sleepless Lords.
And here's the thing: you weren't losing sleep because you were dying to bosses a lot. You were losing sleep because you kept exploring, and there's just so much. There was so much content, and you can only blame yourself for that. But I was a little bit fatigued of being in the world and playing the game a little bit, but I was still enjoying it, and it was a weird feeling. Like I was just kind of ready to be done, but halfway through, I get to that point. I finish up. I think was that Margot is the boss at the halfway. Margit.
Yeah.
And
the Omen King.
The Omen King. And here's the thing: what I love so much is when you fought some of these major shard bearers or bosses, you start understanding the lineage of all the minor enemies as well, because about the fell Omen King, and you face him, you like. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm ready.
That revelation, that connection is like, wait, you were testing me? Like, yeah. Wait, that was you before? Yeah, Bonkai. Oh, whoa. Calm down, man. Calm down, sir. Calm down, sir.
I forgot he was still alive after a few hours into the game.
No, I didn't talk to him.
I saw still alive. I forgot about that.
I saw someone.
No. The foreshadowing is that when you go into the capital, there's a random commoner that also turns into him. And I was like, hold up, you got shadow servants? Okay, well that was a weird
I was
occurrence.
like,
Then you see
what
him.
the
Do you see him
hell?
one more time?
Like,
Like, bro, is this gonna be like right in the office? Am I gonna see you near the end of the game too? In the middle of the game? Are you gonna keep on popping up?
I
Jesus,
thought he was
stop!
gonna be like a common enemy after
Come
after
in,
you
No,
like,
he
after you
turns.
revealed
crawls
the
in.
line.
He's
Like,
wait, wait,
what
wait.
the
He's a
hell
tree
is this?
sentinel.
All
He
right,
turns
I'm
into a
gonna.
tree sentinel or
Yeah,
or one of the
Yo,
tree
hey,
no, he
guardian
the
turned
word.
things, the
into
minor
he
tree
turned into
things.
he turned into
Not
one of the homeless people. The homeless
Yeah,
people.
that was a sequel. It's the second time you can fight him, just rolling through Lindell, and it's like, I see, tarnish.
I
Excuse
see
me,
it,
my
Chinese,
dog.
and then the
Hold up.
lightning just come, and I was like, oh my god, what the hell? What the
But
hell are
I
you
mean,
doing
like,
here?
I will say, if you don't go and like Sodat was saying, if you don't go to do a couple of these optional things, Millennia, and then also if you don't spend as much time over in the land of pretty much the whole
The
house,
lands in
the
between.
Haley tree, if you don't mess around with the Haley tree, period, I think
I
it
mean,
alleviates a little bit more of the time for you.
I'll agree and disagree. See, for me, my last impressions were, the more you play, the more the veneer of the game
Wears
starts
wears
wears
down.
off, wears down,
Yeah,
only because of reuse of assets. Like the
Yeah.
game, and this is, I mean, from reduces, reuses, recycles, and in
it's
good
true.
ways,
It's
and they
true.
build upon it,
It's
and that's
true.
fine, and it's great for me because I didn't get to see all that reduce, reuse, because I just left off from Demon Souls straight into Elden Ring, so I don't have to worry about seeing any extra content from the Dark Souls series or
Hmm.
Bloodborne
Yeah.
or anything. If I see it, for me, it's the first time. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Although that dog, that red dog, and that Sif, okay, I seen him in the image of one of these games, and I'm like, that's cool. This is my first time. But
Hmm.
you start rolling through all these side dungeons. Now, I'm not talking about Halleck Tree. Halleck Tree, well, was still a whole bunch of reused assets.
But
Mm.
But
the actual side dungeon, yeah, side
the actual
dungeons.
side dungeons, you start going through those, you're like, all right, cool. Here's some bosses. Cool. Watchdogs were actually unique
The
to those
dogs as the
dungeons.
enemy.
And I was like, okay, cool. So imps and such are going to be a main theme for these catacombs, the catacomb style dungeons.
Oh man.
Right,
Okay,
right.
cool. That's fine. That's their biome. These watchdogs. Okay, cool. Catacombs have watchdogs. That's a theme. So a lot of the little side content had a theme and made sense. When I
Right,
start
right.
going through dungeons and those tree sentinels start popping out of nowhere, I'm like, what the are y'all doing down here? What is the content? When Godskin minions start popping out randomly out of dungeon, what are you doing here? A random Black Knife assassin, what are you doing here? And that's what I'm like, okay, y'all just putting shit in this game. Like I'm trying to,
Yeah.
like I don't
I
even feel there's no connection
They
of like
they
theme or
they
reason.
put
I'm like,
they put a whole as what's it called Astel. Astel, they use
yeah,
Astel
Astos,
too in the
yeah,
second time. Like, what the
they
hell?
renamed, they just renamed
Why?
them and put them in a lot of the game content
I thought
was
you were the
same
legend.
boss. Yeah, same boss in a smaller area to make artificial
yes,
difficulty, and you're like, okay, do they have a variant attack? See, because I would have
they don't
excused
have
it if
variant
they had
attacks
a.
or anything.
They don't. It's the
It's just
They
exact
and
don't. They
same
don't.
it's a
patterns.
weird
And
thing to like mess with you as well because sometimes you go up to him, you're like, okay, I'm seeing this boss that was previously bigger in scale is now smaller in scale,
no, it's not
and
small scale. He just is fighting in a smaller space. So you're just
it,
tighter, and you're like, oh, so
dude,
I can't, I can't,
it
I
used
can't
to throw
kite
me.
you.
You
It used to throw me, and it was just weird because I'm like, But I mean, yeah, I mean, there's moments where they just stick two of the same, like, okay, this one hard boss, one hard mini boss.
Hmm.
Here you go, you can fight it, and then later down the line, here's two of them
Yeah,
in a
here,
smaller
here's the
space.
hey, yeah. Here's Crucible Knights. Like, okay, what are the Crucible Knights doing down here? Are they have they been sealed? Like, there's no
You
because
talking about that
again,
hero dungeon? You talking about that one
the
hero
hero,
dungeon?
yeah.
They
The
had them
yes,
the
there's
two
two of
of
them
yes.
in
them.
there,
I was
man.
like,
Because
man,
Woo!
you're like, oh,
I
hero.
hate that place so much.
But just from the last thoughts perspective, like that was my of like the game as a whole, wonderful. If you stick to the general path, do a little bit of veering. But if I was going in for like I want the whole kit and caboodle in one run. That might
Yeah,
have been my fall. But at the same time, you kind of worry about it because your whole landmarks to figure out what you have and haven't done are usually your graces. So I didn't want to be lost trying to do New Game Plus 2, try to figure out to catch what I hadn't done and what I had done.
it's
So
almost
I was
near
trying to,
impossible.
it's
Yeah,
almost near impossible. I was like,
it's
let me do
impossible.
100. Let me do a pretty much not 100% the first run. And when I was doing it, I was like, I actually had the feeling like, gosh, if I'm going to go to these places from, make it worth my while. Like, yes, there's some cool items here that I can lure on or get some stats from, but damn, man, put me something cool in here. Give me some variant that matches. Oh,
Hmm.
well, you're in the
Hmm.
ice area now. It's the same enemies now. They have ice. No, that's not a variant from. That's just lazy. I love y'all, but you can't do this, man. Yeah, y'all, yeah.
It's
Come on.
the it's the dragon.
It's
Yeah.
Dragon.
Yo, okay, so I mean,
Oh,
me and
gosh.
Ehead, well, all of us, we kind of did a tier list of enemies at the end of the game, or tier list of bosses, and all the dragons outside of like maybe 3 of them.
I
They-
just
Three
put
of
the
them.
dragon in the same place. I don't
I
care.
I've
did.
never
I mean,
felt so mundane about fighting a dragon at one point. It's like,
I'm like,
oh, it's
what
another
these-
one. Great.
These Skyrim rejects.
Because there's no
What these-
different way to kill them. You just
You just
run
ride
up to their back
around,
legs, cut
around,
on
and,
them.
yeah,
Run on
that's
their
it.
back legs, cut on them. Move where they stomp down. Move where they stomp down. Cut them jiggly legs. Move over. Run over to the right. Run over to the left when they do a
Mhm.
drive by, a breath attack. Come back over to them. If they breathe while you're running to them, run to the left. It's always run to the left, actually. Always run to the left.
Yeah, which apparently is a thing from a lot of the From games. For some of the enemies, always, and especially in this game, it's always dodge a certain direction. For the most part, all the enemies swing with their left hand or right hand. One of them,
Right hand.
like they,
Which makes sense because the right hand is the favorite arm, so you roll to the left.
yeah. You just always roll left and just roll.
Statistically, yeah, everyone
Roll
rolls
in to the left. Don't roll out.
Yeah,
It's so hard to
roll in
to-
or move towards the left, and you're good to go. And you're like, except for the ice dragon was different because he had a cheap AOE frostbite. And I'm like, okay, so you tried to change it up, but you just made it more BS than melee them.
Yeah. And
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know if you had the same thing that Soldat was talking about, and I kind of agree though. Is just I don't know. The longer you play, only the boss fights are really the thing that are in some of the areas. Because let's face it, the place outside of time, that place is gorgeous. That place is that's a really nice looking place.
made no effing sense,
Atmosphere.
but it was beautiful.
It made no sense, but it was
It
beautiful.
made no sense. Yeah.
But I mean,
Boy.
like, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, I'm essentially playing for some of these fights to finish it off. But anything I come across, from enemies, normal enemies, to even traversing the land now, is kind of
At the end of the game,
Lost.
I just basically ignore all the common enemy. I just
They
fight
ran
the
it
boss.
down. I mean, that's my
I'm
con.
done
That's
with
my only
it.
con to the game. They ran it
Yeah.
down that last 1/4.
I just ran through the regular enemy. I was like, I'm
Mhm.
too good for you. I'm too higher from you.
my man said, I'm
I
too
was
good
even-
for
I
you.
was like, I was so good. I was like, all
I
right,
was
so I'm
like-
fighting you. It's like, oh, y'all jank. F y'all.
Yeah,
Y'all ain't even worth me learning
You're
your
not on
patterns.
my level. You're not on my
It's
level.
like you're not worth my effort. You're not giving me
Yeah.
no souls. You're not giving. Okay, your swords are kind of cool, but no one cares about y'all. I don't even know why I'm here. That was the one bad part.
Mhm,
For
mhm.
Missoula, you're like, I don't even know why I'm here.
I feel like
I'm just gonna go.
I completely done with the boss when I have to fight the Godskin duo. I was like, man,
Guys
These
can do it. That
guys-
you go. Why are y'all here?
yeah. I was
And why are y'all
Like,
still
where-
here?
Because the stuff you get from them, no context of why these mofos are in this weird time space anomaly area, and you're like, when you finish the whole area, you get cutscene out, and you're just like, what was that? Oh, let me run down this
Apparently-
boss rush. Like I don't know what y'all did from, so y'all just phoned in the last of this game, and that's
I mean,
my only con.
I mean, I think there was definitely a need to, and you feel it. Like, I'm sorry, I felt this with Radagon. I know Ed has on the opposing opinion about Radagon, and in the Elden Beast, or the Elder Beast.
Oh, I hate that guy.
It,
so much.
it's
Yes,
it's
that's
like
Sam.
it's this thing where you know there's going to be a separate phase, and this isn't a surprise. But I thought it was going to be Radagon, and there's this whole thing of if
I thought it was
you
America.
or America. I thought we were going to fight America, and then it turned out to be Radagon, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is the mystery. But there's some
America.
things where I think if you do that, the Sun Mask, I forgot his name. If you do his
Gold
quest line,
Mask.
Oh,
Golden Mask.
Golden Mask, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you figure this out
There's
more.
even some pre-clues, but yes.
But I think there's something to be said about like
Radagon is Marika.
Yeah.
this revelation that happens in the white
Five
screen, and you're like, okay,
The
cool.
white screen was really killed that fight. That right there.
Yeah, I was
way
like,
too much time to translate.
Why every time? Why every time I go to that
I mean,
door?
I was streaming
Just
on
blinding
Discord for
light.
some friends, and I literally every time I did it, I looked away from the screen and said, "Oh, guys, blinding warning." So
I
they
even
could
said
look
it
at
on
too.
stream. I said on
Like,
stream,
oh,
I said,
fast
I wish I
thing.
could just skip this thing. And then it turns, and I'm like, wait, I mean, I can skip it, but I can't skip this part.
You can't skip the flag. Yeah, if they
The
just simply had
voice
the press
is
button,
annoying.
if they
I
had
mean,
the skip button right then as soon as you touch the light, that would have solved it. I would have been okay with the bullshit.
The
No,
sound
you
is
have to wait till
annoying. The one in the screen is annoying. I just look out and I just put up my hands at the way every time I have to
I
go
mean,
to
you
Radigan
put
the
was a
your
cool.
hands in the air, you
I'm-
give a prayer,
I'm-
you hit the ring,
I'm
you're
done.
like,
I'm just-
I pray to God, if
So
you out here,
here's the
could you
thing.
make this faster?
Here was the thing, though. We had Radigan, and then we also have the Elden Beast after this, or the Elder Beast. And for me, I didn't feel like he was necessary. I felt like the Elder Beast, even if it had to be in there, because Soldat pointed out a great point when I was streaming. Like, there is lore to this, and we do know about the cosmos, and we do know about these other things because we've been to Nocturne, we've been to these other areas that clearly hint of other things. But there's this thing of where I want to know how many percentage of people, normal people who played this game, the normal people who played the goodness gracious.
Okay, so I'll take
Sorry.
it. If I take it subtracting out the lore and the context of, there's FromSoft, not even FromSoft, but you already know from some details that there are layers that's going on.
There's definitely layers, yeah.
And that the Elden Ring and there are powers that be that are playing. The greater will at least is mentioned during the course of the normal game.
Right.
And so at least with that notice, and if you see you see some details about from Turtle Pope, he gives you little hints about there's more than meets the eye.
Right.
Between Merrick and Radagon. So there's always been these elements of, okay, what the fuck? So the whole scene of the transformation had some context. It was like, oh, dang.
Right.
They want to say, okay, well, I might need to figure this out a little bit more when I play through again. Because, that's what the premise is. That's one way if they're doing it right here. They're like, there's more that you might have not missed out. Well, there's New Game Plus. Feel free to hit it up. But then the second phase, you're like, okay, so they're servants, because it's like when you talk to the finger, she's like, yo, she was punished even though she's a goddess. She was sealed into the Erd tree because she broke the rules of the outer will. So you're like, if anything, you would say the outer will or the greater will is the final beast with the Elden Beast. Not the case, but you at least put those two together incorrectly. They're saying, oh, we actually fighting God now. Okay, all right. This is the scale of JRPGs. Time to kill God. Because it literally does, and it does say it. Real talk. When you beat the Elden Beast, it says God slain. That's the only time it says that. Not demigod, God. And you're like, all right, we did it.
And I mean,
it would make sense in order
Astra was too? Okay.
In order to basically complete the story, complete what you need to do to reset, aka the order or whatever, to reset everything. That's what you need to destroy it.
Reset button.
You need to kill God.
It's just for some reason. Some reason, I just wasn't I don't know. And it was just like, for me, it just hit a surprise. I was watching another streamer. And they had the same, like, oh, okay, this thing happened. Good thing I played Bloodborne, because, it wasn't too far fetched for me with Bloodborne and everything. But
cosmic powers at being, just manipulating everyone.
Yeah.
It was lighter handled in terms of, because it was lighter handled in terms of there are major cosmic forces at play, but it is talked about. You just don't get the full, gravitas until that scene.
Isn't like Rani whole quest is about like celestial being like
but that's only if you hit a quest. So I mean, I'm getting Trix's whole point is like, listen, if you ran the game down, just let's say you just did a regular fractured ending, you're not hitting up any quests.
Did you understand what happened in this game?
Like if you hit if you hit Godric, hit Ronnie, maybe talk to Turtle Pope. Let's say context you talk to Turtle Pope because he's in that area.
I actually didn't talk to Turtle Pope enough. I didn't talk to him enough. I talked to him all the way. I ran his dialogues out, but I never went back to him.
He only have like 2 dialogue.
He only has 2 dialogues. So you got the little small things.
Okay, so I got it.
Between
you got it.
Yeah, it happened so early. It happened like at 60-hour mark or something.
Right.
So 180 hours.
You see Turtle Pope. You beat Renala. You hear from the Finger Reader that, hey, Marika, because she gives the details like, yo, this is what happened. This is why she was sealed away. We don't know why she broke it. The greater will, we're communing with the greater will right now. They're telling you to go off and do the thing. The thing. You go and do the thing, and then you get, So there's little small pieces that you're like, well, dang, there might be some more of this that I'm missing out on. And when you start hitting up on other places, you're like, all I know is I went in, I broke some rules. God is mad. Him. I beat the brakes off of him. Which makes sense. You burned down his house, so he's like, "Well, time for me to clean up." And you're like, "Nah,
you were in the Erd tree at this point. You were in the burning of the Erd tree."
I love at the end of the game, the greater will just like the greater will just turn on you. Like the greater will, next target is you after at the end of the game.
Oh no,
Uh,
right. You mean with our boy Godfrey? I mean,
yeah, how when you
horror
fight
WWE
Godfrey.
Lou.
Yeah,
WWE that yo when
WWE
he
the
did
wrestling.
I'm a E Honda wrestle you. I'm gonna do it
No. When he
all.
said no, when he
Vroom.
the best line, "I've given you courtesy enough." When he spoke non-English, "I've given you courtesy enough." What happened to your old English? No, we done with that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Swear.
but my thing was, and this kind of goes to a little bit of our fatigue with the game, but not fatigue. I said we were basically at the end. You're fighting for the boss fights at this point. You're fighting to see the spectacle. They're giving you the spectacle. So that was like, the last fourth of this game is just like I don't. Some of the stuff isn't really
boss rush,
like
basically.
it's a boss rush as we've
It's a boss
described.
rush.
Each
game
boss,
just-
for me, it just felt like okay, you know what? I was done with Radigan. That was like it peaked. That was it.
Yeah,
I
same
was-
for me. I
that
think the game
was
peaked
hype.
at Radigan for me.
when the theme dropped
The
and he
the
hold the
theme
hammer, I was like, "Woo,
dropped.
it's time.
Yeah,
It's
hold
The
on.
time.
theme dropped.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's time. Let's go.
It's time. It's like I just got done fighting with WWE Horror Lou.
When Horror
With that
Lou
cutscene,
turned it,
that, course,
oh.
that cutscene had
Ooh.
depth,
Triple
if you didn't notice.
And
No,
then we
because
also,
Triple H, Horror Lou.
Or no, there's multiple layers. A, you killed his boy. His boy turned to grace that floats to you
Yeah.
because the greater will
Yeah,
says it's time to throw
yeah,
down
yeah,
with you
yeah,
next.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yo,
when he held his boy in his hand, he says, "It's been a while."
My
And I was
boy.
like, "My boy."
It's
I was
been a
like,
while.
"Oh man!" And I actually missed the fact that he was still laying there. I didn't go back and talk to him the first time I beat him.
He's still alive
He-
for
he's
a
just-
while
yeah,
after you
he's-
beat him.
He's just-
yeah, I
he's
thought
on
he
the
would
ground
dead. He
talking.
said his last
Goodbye.
line is like, "You'll never be Elden Lord." I was like, well, he dead. And now then you see him again. I was like, wait, he's like, my boy. It's been a long time. Spirit flies over to you. You worked hard, boy. But I'm back. I was like, well, I'm kind of want to just let you do it. I kind of want to switch over to your story now, and now we just play you out to the end of this game. Can we do that? No.
Dude, my man was man. But it was just like hype fight, super hype fight. And I'm
Well,
like,
I don't know about Gideon. I don't know about
Super
Gideon.
hype.
Gideon was just
Uh,
like
Gideon-
vengeance.
Gideon was-
I just
he was
ran
there.
through Gideon. Gideon was there.
Gideon was
yeah.
there.
Gideon should have got ripped apart by Horror Lou. I'm sorry, that would have been better satisfaction.
Gideon should not have actually been there. Let's get real. Gideon should have just faded into dust and said, "I got my."
No, I get why he was there because he
I-
was playing us, and you learned to hate him, and you want him dealt with.
Right,
but he did. He
don't
played
know.
you perfectly, but his boss fight was so weak.
His boss fight was too
It-
weak. That's what I'm saying. Like he couldn't match up to what you had just come up from Malekith. You just came back from Malekith.
It should have been homeboy. Should have just walked up on Horror Lou, got power drive, ripped apart, and goes, "I see you here, Tarnished. I heard of your works from Gideon, whom he just ripped apart."
I kind of want to beat Gideon's ass because after he broke my baby girl.
Baby girl's heart.
Baby girl's
Yeah,
heart.
the-
When he said, "You no longer,
After
you need
he
to get out of
disowned
here."
her, I was like,
Wait.
He disowned her for
Which
real.
baby girl? Which baby girl? I had two here. Whose hearts he messed with, so he had to pay twofold.
Had to
He
pay
messed with my,
twice.
he messed with my Archer bag.
warrior game here? Who's
He
the warrior?
killed my girl. He killed my girl's dog.
Who's the warrior
Wait,
girl
who?
name again? The warrior.
Nefeli?
Nefeli.
Nefeli,
Yeah,
Nefeli.
Yeah,
he broke her heart, but he broke my other girl's dog.
You deserve
He
this
broke my other
video.
girl's dog. He killed a dog. I was like, yo, you got to pay for some war crimes. You done
He's
killed my
killing-
girl's dog.
Killing dogs now.
You killed her dog, and she died on her own to become a spirit just to complete the mission. Respect plus. And then you just throwing away your
man.
daughter and everything. Man, I gotta make you pay what you owe.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
gotta pay. You gotta pay. He gotta pay.
He got to pay. But I mean, like, yeah. So that was the thing, is how much was too much, was like started crossing my mind. Like, if they wanted to put this Elden Beast in here, which makes sense. Okay, cool, whatever. Put it in here. If you want more lore, go get it. This thing should have been a 1-2 hit kill.
I mean,
It should have been.
considering
didn't
you
get
played
much
them,
else out of
you
it.
played them nerfed. You played them nerfed.
I didn't play him
But,
fully nerfed apparently, but I
And
played
not fully
him.
nerfed because back in my day when I
Man,
was playing them,
he just ran away all the
he
time.
was a flyy bitch.
If I have Torrent, I could just kill him.
Boy,
dude,
okay,
but
now, okay.
man,
No,
Yeah,
you
half
just
the
run forward.
health. I would agree with half the health, so you guys should get a content of a fight because his moves were beautiful. His set piece was majestic.
Well, yes, he was.
Because you're in the realm of the gods.
He was like, you're right. It does say God slain, the gold slain. But I mean,
God slain.
it's just like the ancestral fight, right? Which is beautiful and it has
Well, that
its
was a war
place.
crime.
It has its place. It's very beautiful.
lovely.
It's very memorable.
Yeah.
It's synced with the music, just like this one. but did you ever feel like you needed a challenge in it?
I
Did it
did
ever challenge
because I'm
you?
fighting God. I'm fighting God. I need to be challenged if I find the JRPG God. I mean, you do know that every JRPG goes, you fight the Dark Lord, you fight the Geiger Guts monster, or you fight Space God. We just literally we fought the Dark Lord into Space God.
Look, I'm just saying though. I'm not saying you don't have that. The fact that you fight God, that doesn't change. I'm saying that the difficulty or the BS you have to go through to just do it, I don't feel like it's justified or warranted.
So you want
that's just me.
You want like the demon's landing. You have to like the
the
first
dragon
boss fight. It's
that
it's
dragon.
like, and
Just
then at the end of the game, you just hit like this slime, not the slime. It's like this like weak enemy, and it's a whole ass boss fight.
Like,
and that's
like
the
I don't
last
think
boss.
I don't think he has
or
to be
Demon Souls. The final boss is just make a decision and it gets done.
Or something like it could be any of those things. But I think you've done so much.
Trix wanted a QTE for the end. Let's be real. He
No,
wanted a
QTEs
clean
don't work.
cutscene QTE.
The QTE doesn't work. The QTE doesn't work. The QTE doesn't work.
I ain't gonna lie. I would like to. It would have been kind of cool to do a run in cut, set piece running through to do the final blow on them and made it like that. But that'd be breaking with the engine.
Yeah,
I will agree to disagree. I will agree to disagree. But I think the whole fight had its breakpoints because of the sum of its parts. The stupid door. The stupid door.
Yeah, because you have to go through Radigan again to get to him.
Yeah. And Radigan, you learn his pattern, and then you have to learn Homeboy's pattern, which is not difficult. Homeboy's patterns are pretty simple. And barring you being in the horrible patch time where you didn't learn the pattern because every time you ran to him, he just ran away. That's what's really killed it for most of us OGs. When
it was the worst.
It was the worst feeling.
Y'all OGs, I'm like, y'all one patch away.
The patch makes a whole difference in Elden Ring.
Previous patch away.
Elden Lord.
Yeah, you got Elden Lords of three different ages of mending.
The original Lord, the
second Lord, and the third Ninja 1, 2, and 3.
Wait. Are we the lineage of Fudge? What was it?
We're the new golden lineage. No, we're the platinum lineage.
The platinum lineage.
The platinum lineage. But I mean, like, so I think if that Elden boss had half the health, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That's my solution to him. Half the health, he does the same BS or whatever, fine. But half of the health,
he has the same phases.
And he has the same phases. That's what I'm saying.
Cool moves. Yeah, great.
Some cool moves. Yeah.
Did you ever? You never got caught in that grab, that command grab?
No, I saw it.
It's dirty.
It's dirty.
Ooh, the Evangelion.
Yeah, that's definitely Evangelion.
I mean, there's
because in Ancestral Guardian, which that was another fight I wish was different. I wished there was a peace option. I'm sorry, like I felt like I did a war.
There should have been like a peace option.
Both times I beat them, or at least you beat them the first time.
Those are the only people in the game that I'm like my people.
There's only one boss you can make peace with, and it's Patches.
Patches,
you can just stop hitting him and like, okay, sure, Patches, I'll let you go.
I'll let you peace option with our boy Blade. Rest in peace.
Oh man, I don't even know where we're at. We're at last impressions. We're still talking about it, but yeah. Well, I mean, what were your last impressions essentially from beginning then towards the end? What was your last impression?
For me, I think Elden Ring is one of the few games that one of the best feeling I have after beating a game, probably. After after the hard time and the thing I have to go through after the end, like Elden Beast, I just feel relief after the end of the game, and I get to marry my girl Rani. That was something.
The one and only,
the one and
only consort,
my consort. Yeah.
Boy, that's a good feel. It's like, yo, my one and only. It's like, will you go with me? My one and only immortal consort. Like, yo, we getting upgrades.
I know. I was like,
from the bottom. Now we here. We started from the bottom. Now we here.
We rose up.
The first thing we get told in the game is we were maidenless. We don't have.
And now we are eternally maiden.
We are eternally maiden. Or in my case, I thought I killed them all.
Intertwined in the stars.
In mine, I got I left some maidens on Earth. And then we rose to heaven and just like, hey, job. Just rose up. Ooh. My last impressions. Last impressions. As a whole, great game. A little too much reuse of assets. when you
Mhm.
when you dig in. Only when you dig in.
And then when
If
you
you
get-
don't
Mhm.
dig in, it is a great meal. If you
I
go
would
in for a
love to
buff
play
pack,
this game without digging in and see how it changes everything. Because
I
it
mean,
would
it's New Game Plus, my dog.
but no. The first I saw this thing
Oh,
where the reason I don't really do a lot of new game pluses is because for
fresh
me
file, my dog.
for me anyways is like that first playthrough that
The
was it.
feeling.
The feeling
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was it. Like
okay, that's
when I go
true.
back, it's I can't ever have another. I'll have another feeling, of course, but it won't ever be the same as that first time. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, but
Same
as
for
a
me
over,
too for
yeah, true.
JRPG. I cannot do new game plus for JRPG. I feel like just
Mm.
going through the same thing.
Y-
We
Yeah,
just overpower at the time.
yeah, I'm normally not a repeat person in games. I like to get the full experience up front, which I got,
Mm-hmm.
which was great. But again, for me, it also hurt because a lot of the reuse. But all the things I learned, which wasn't even everything, was making me go, "Oh, dang! There's so many layers of this onion." I enjoyed it. It was great, and just being able to experience all the different content of the whole from generations
Mm-hmm.
into one whole package, but done open world.
Right.
I was like, man, I was like, it was amazing journey. It was
Yes.
amazing journey.
Yeah.
There was a lot of secrets revealed. There's a lot of questions still here, and I want to hit this new game plus to see what I missed or what things I didn't observe the first time.
Right.
And that was the best point because you can run it down
Mm-hmm.
in this game because you're overpowered, but you don't mind because you're now just looking for,
You're now
okay, let
looking
me see,
for
let me hear what they
yeah.
said this first time. What does it mean in context of what I didn't know?
I
Or
mean, it's
just even looking at the intro itself the second time around, seeing America crack that ring,
mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then seeing that swole figure, like, oh, that was Radagon right there.
I,
Dang.
I mean, essentially, you're doing a lore run at that point, right?
Yeah,
And
you're
what
doing that
makes
lore
it,
runs.
I
Yeah,
think
low
what
run.
makes it so good is, and I did have a feeling like, you know what, if I were to play it again, there were so many weapons I wanted to use. There were
Oh
so
yeah,
many other
Yeah.
definitely.
summons I wanted to use that even if I go back and play it, I know 100% for sure I'm using this or I'm using that. Like
Or
I'm
you
not
just want
even.
to try it.
You want to try it, right? Because at one
Right.
point you kind of get used to your kind of cadence, your what you're using, your kind of go tos. You've
Mhm.
leveled them up or whatever. But in that second playthrough, you're free.
That was me
Just
because I got
just
to do
go
actual
go
I went
whenever. Yeah.
martial. I went martial instead of like just magicking all the things. I was like, all right, let's see how deep it or how hard it is. Power
I'm
Tinsel. Oh, this is a cool, fun way to play. Younga Bunga. Unga Bunga.
I was
I'm
I mean,
doing
using
a,
it day
I was
I'm
one.
doing a I'm doing a whips only run like right now. I mean
Castlevania.
not right now. Yeah, like, I'm doing a Castlevania run right now. It's really good. I
Yeah,
It's
really
it's just
love the weapon in the
there's so
game.
many different ways you can play it through while running it down, checking out things, and
I
doing
you
think
can
different
do so
things.
many. I mean, I didn't
I've
And,
use. I was gonna say I use summons. I'm a summon
mhm.
kid. I
Nothing
I
wrong with
love.
them,
nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
I
it.
honestly I
except for
love.
Mimic. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I love it because like for me, it gave me a sense of playing the game with someone else. Like they were always like with
Hmm.
me from beginning to end. Like, we were chilling. You know, that was my
You and
Kaiden was my
Kaiden.
boy.
Boy,
Whew.
I was like,
I
man, he
tried to.
really did. He really did. It's like, yo, it's like, and so Trix, the Elden Lord, with his consort, God is reigning, and his right hand, like Game of Thrones, was right there, put on
And
his boy Kaiden, and they
I
all
was
went to the
like,
stars
we went to the stars together.
together,
speaking,
together.
But I mean the thing really is that you can go back, you can do a no summons run, you can go back do a whip
Hmm.
run, you can go back and do a no
you can do a full
sword.
summon run. You can do a full summon.
Yeah,
You
you can
Yes,
do a
pacifist.
pacifist run,
You can do
summon.
the exactly. There's so many different ways to do it. Like you said, you
and
can
the
skip all
respecking
the
was
bosses
great.
that you need to. The respec, and they
Respecking was
give you
wonderful.
plenty. They give you plenty of
Plenty.
times and
Your
chances to
larval
respec.
seers.
Yep.
Oh god, those larval to secrets come out of nowhere switch boss mini bosses were just woof. Another part of the game that I just liked as the last impression, just like there was so
Oh,
much stuff packed in there of surprises that just you're like, I was not expecting this. The from soft feeling was always throughout the whole game.
it was.
Mm,
It was.
yeah.
Um. Yeah. Phew, we. You know what? I'm gonna skip over the lore versus story.
Hmm. You
Yeah.
sure? I mean, we can condense it real quick.
Oh yeah, we can condense it. Okay, so my beef, and this is a quality of life thing for me. Honestly, I agree with them on like there are some things that I would like to be a little bit more directed to me, in terms of if it is going to tie into a boss fight, right? I would like instead of potentially being able to miss it, I would like it more directed to me. I know that most of the stuff is there. but there's a lot of us, maybe we haven't played a lot of From games, or maybe we didn't really understand it until halfway through. For me, I didn't understand my bestiary were my Ashen summons. The summons are the bestiary.
Basically, your whole inventory.
Your whole inventory
is your lore book.
And I didn't know that. I didn't really get that until halfway through the game or a certain point. So it was like me missing out on a bunch of stuff. Same thing with I did get most of the Melina checkpoints with her coming out and talking. Which
Millicent?
And Millicent. I mean, I did my thing with Millicent.
I bet you did. I'm sorry.
And Bok. You remember Bok too.
No, he didn't. No, let's not talk about Bok. I
Let's
talk
not talk
about
about
Bok. My Bok called me Lord. My Bok actually like, may I call you Lord?
No, he is. No, that's why. That's why my Bok called me Lord, and he was so. No, that's what got me.
We're saving time. We're saving time.
That's what happened, man. My boy Bok, he said he was so happy to call me Lord that when he said I want to be new, and I learned for the first time in my life, just because someone wants something don't mean they need it.
They don't need it.
Hey, but Millicent took that lesson to heart, literally. She said, "I'd rather die free.
Ooh,
I'd rather die free than to live a pawn for whoever called you. My friend, thank you. I'm gone now." I was like, "Yo, bro, the actual ending of the Black Panther right there." I was like, "Yo, hold up."
So I mean, like, we have all these wonderful stories, and for the side quest, I get it. So you can kind of miss them. I kind of wish, and they did do something where they did patch in the first patch where NPCs are on the map. That was very nice.
That was the best quality of life.
That was great.
That was the best.
I really wanted that to be there just in case. I wanted it to be there because, like, some of these people are telling you, like, I'm going to be here. Like Alexander, right? He's like I'm going to be in this area. I don't need you to tell me, like, go here. But in real life, I still believe this. Homeboy would have taken out whatever he scribes with and just taken the map and circled the area. You don't have to tell me where. Just be like,
some characters did that. Like D literally told you, "Hey, head over here for this thing," and like Fia did that once.
It only happened.
More NPCs should have did that. Yeah, it only happened 2 times where they put a red spot on your map. You're like, I feel you. Some of the NPCs should say, "Hey, I'm either they could hand you one of those notes that you can read in your inventory," which I thought, oh, this is what this game's gonna do more. They're gonna hand you notes
essentially.
That you just need to open up in the inventory to see. Oh,
the Volcano Manor do that.
Yeah, Volcano Manor. They should have spread that system out more for NPCs. Like, yo, here's my note. Or Azan's just like, yo, I'm gonna go train over in this area. If you want to, hit me up.
Which is kind of like modern game design or something like The Last of Us or whatever, where you're basically picking up notes. But in this case, your character is, and I feel like the map is part of like a journal, a book that he's opening, or they're opening, and that every time you're just making notes, you're making references. And then, I would really like an appendix to basically tie all these things together, because I talked to the Turtle Man. I forgot what the Turtle Man said, because 30 hours versus, or 60 hours, 60 hours to 180 hours, I forgot.
Yeah, funny enough you mentioned bestiary, because they were planning on having bestiary like before the game come out, like at the last stage, like the last build, like the latest build, they have a bestiary, but they just took it out before.
Is that where the like some of those wikis get those monster descriptions? And
yeah.
They have to be. Where are they getting? Because you look at like the
FX got it all.
Like, where are these extra details coming out? I'm like, where's the deep lore? They got the
extra life. Extra life was my MVP, because
it was mine too. That was my hidden maiden, my digital maiden right
because
there.
I don't think that any of the Souls games have bestiary books, like actual physical books printed. They don't have. I think they have art books, but that's it.
Yeah, and
no, I mean like bestiary in the game.
I'm saying both, because like a lot of these games, even at the end, they'll be like, "Go buy our product." They don't have any of that.
Well, this game will have been the first time.
They could have done a Balin Wonderworld and actually say, "Hey, here's the bestiary," and folks will be like, "Thank you." I'm messing with you, but people would follow on it.
Oh boy, Yuji had something to say about that over this weekend, bro.
Yeah, well, no one cares. I'm sorry, but we listened, we read it, and like, all right, Yuji, you still ain't made it. Let's put that book down. But back to your points. I agree on those. One of the things in Elden Ring where they did it right, or Borodon, where homeboy said, "Let me tell you something before you go in."
Man,
boy, that's storytelling right there. They needed people like that. Each one of the demigods.
That's how you do storytelling right there.
That's how you do storytelling. And I think there's a divide in this game of your lore, which is very interesting, which you don't need, but sometimes it gets confused. It gets torn. It's tied into the story. It's tied into the story where lore is typically past. Some of this lore is past that's still running into the present, and that present isn't presented to you in the way that it needs to be. Like Radahn, I ain't gonna forget that, man. Whew, shoot.
No, you know exactly what's
Man,
happening.
you know what's
like
happening.
Radahn has
Forget
lost
him,
his mind, and we're doing the celebration and throwdown from the war that they had. Like, okay, cool. We know Radahn's story. Man's
So
a G.
for Radahn, you can just stumble into him, or you can do running quest and know how you need to beat him to free the star, basically.
Yeah,
Or you can
I
just
mean,
stumble into him and like, okay, I'm just gonna kill this dude.
you can speed run into him, and then you still got to go over and get to the Atlas Plateau just to unlock the actual fight with it. So there's a weird little pieces here. But the fact is that when the celebration happens, that
When the
was
celebration
it
happens.
Gerald, was it Jaren?
Jiren?
Jaren,
Let
yeah,
me
Jaren.
give you the breakdown before you go in.
Let me
They
give you the
needed
breakdown.
somebody in each one of the demigods areas that would have that little section. I don't know, it would have been a full cutscene. I would appreciate a nice little cutscene for each one of them to give a little bit of lore. Like Godric the Grafted. Let me tell you why he got those arms. Why he be taking those arms. If they had someone that gave you that little piece before you walked in, and for all the others, you go, okay. Or if Turtle Poke for some reason was nearby Ronaldo's and like
Just
gave you that
everywhere.
Turtle Poke should have really just been right there with a sight
Turtle
of
Pope
grace
everywhere.
outside of her. No, he should. I feel like honestly, there should have been him. He should have had a brother that was chilling out at Royal Lucario's. There should have been a sight of grace right before her boss fight, so you can go in and get the deets. Like she's in mourning,
I
and then
think
he gave us a cutscene.
because
I
this
think there's
game,
some
lore pieces.
NPC that fits in the description. You can just talk to Roderica for Godric, and
Yeah,
Roderica
Roderick.
could just give you the what's it called the
The
cutscene.
jellyfish and if you got the thing.
Or the Volcano Manor, you can just talk to Tarit.
Or no, Rajir. Rajir could have told you about God.
Oh,
Before you rolled
Rogier.
in.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah,
could,
yeah,
yeah.
Because
Rogier.
he had to go to the same spot to go down to get messed up. So he would have been the perfect part. It's like, oh, you going in to fight him? I'm looking for something else, but I can tell you what I know about him. Cutscene
Cutscene,
info.
yeah. That
walk
would be
in.
hype. That would be hype the
That's
whole game.
and so
I think
and
that's
that-
why.
that's all I want.
I think
is
that's
just
why
a
the
little bit more
Radon fight
clarity.
is really special. Then that's
Because
what
all the
makes
fights
the
that
Radon fight
I
really
mean, they do
special.
something so. What's so cool about this game is they do all these fights and all these enemies are designed so like everything is designed in such a way that you're curious and you want to know more. I just think the baseline knowledge just adds to that fight. It adds to it a little bit more that like, okay, I'm not just going to beat this thing, but here's a why. Which sometimes in real life I can get with them. Like sometimes in real life you don't know why you're doing stuff, and that's a bad way to live. But hey, sometimes it's the case. You just walked up on the wrong thing, and
sometimes they could have done it in the
know
inverse order.
afterwards.
Like Morgoth was perfect because he was foreshadowed, but you didn't know he was the mystery element.
Yeah,
But Malina could have actually broke you down for you after you fought him. Because she said, like, I have free reign to go around this the castle. I can see things you don't. I got to do some business. And then she could have broke down why he was actually holding back the door and what his whole gist was. So I feel you on that one to give those notes that, it still doesn't tell you everything. You still can go in and hit your lore pieces to figure out all the interconnects. But you got, here's who these folks are. Here's their goal, because they had this whole war. If they just at least gave their insights on their spots during the Shattering War,
right,
that would have been enough, because that's what they did with Radahn. They just literally talked about his after effects from that war. And I'm like, okay, cool, because the only time we see interaction with these different demigods throwing down was just from trailer pieces. They never show any of those interactions in the past again. It's just the remnants of that whole war. Which made Lindell to me kind of confused when I first hit the cat. I was like, "What's up with all this Warcraft?" Because I didn't really even hit the trailers that much. I didn't see them rolling deep into the capital and that fight. I did.
I was the Millennia and Rodan trailer.
I saw a little piece of that, and I was like, "Okay, cool, flowered Full Metal Alchemist thing going on there."
It is kind of crazy.
That's all I got.
Is it crazy? Well, I mean, of course, these two were really important in the story, but. For the most part, and you do get a freaking helmet for Millennia, and you get a statue for her. She's pretty much on most of everything.
Yeah.
That you can skip. You can just miss her. You'll never know why. You'll just be like, I thought I bought this game to see her and Radahn.
But to be fair, you can see the remnants of her activity. And you're like, yo, this was some bad activity. And you're like, nah, she's with a dirty bomb. Oh,
I love how the game do that. I love the game bait and sweet us into thinking that Radahn is the evil guy from the trailer, and then Millennia is the As the knight
was the valiant knight
was the
that fought
valiant
hard
knight.
and lost an
But
arm and
no,
then had
it's
these
the
final option.
reverse.
No, it's the
Radahn
complete
is trying to
reverse.
save Khalid from Lane, not from
Well,
Lane invasion
From
rot.
that
Like,
blot. That rot.
Well, I mean,
blot.
she didn't
when
run
she
until
lost-
she did it just to win. She
when
did
she
a hunter
lost,
hunter.
she
hunter
nuked the
hunted
whole
the man.
continent. What the hell?
Yes, she hunted the man for victory. But you know why? She did it for love, aka Miquella hit that geese. I'm telling you, man. He hit that geese, told her to go rage war.
Hey, bro.
Bloodman came in,
You
picked
gonna
her
help
up.
me? I'm gonna help you, man.
Yeah,
We got
I was
you.
like,
We got
listen,
you.
my sister,
Mm.
you go forth and rage war. I've already calculated the odds. You will be victorious.
I'm
As
gonna
soon as she
sleep.
leave, yo, my sister ain't home. Come pick me up, Mog. All right, say no more. Come
Say no
here.
more.
I'm telling
Say no
you, man.
more.
We have the whole thing with like I call them like the true kids, and then we have the kids who were a little bit out of the wedlock, quote whatever, you know. And
No,
that,
they were
that
all in
thing.
wedlock. Yeah, there was the true kids, the golden
Yeah,
lineage.
there's the true kids.
There was the
then
Renala,
there's-
there was the Renala kids. Those were the school
that's-
kids. The
that's when he
school
was out.
kids.
Yeah,
And then
there's
the ultimate betrayal was like, I must go. My people need me. I gotta bang myself.
I was
And then
gonna
we
call
have
the other
we have
ones
the self-set
the
kids.
reject.
The
I was gonna say the reject
they're
kids.
self-sets.
Oh
No,
yeah,
they're
yeah. I
self-sets.
forgot. So the spouse is Godfrey and Renala. I forget about that.
Yeah, Godfrey
Mhm.
Renala,
I forgot about
Godfrey
Godfrey entirely.
Martika. There's Godfrey
Mhm.
Martika, Godfrey
Godfrey Martika.
Renala, and then
It's
then
the
there's
sheep.
Martika
There's
Radagon.
Radagon,
Every-
Renala. Not
Yeah.
Godfrey. Godfrey just
Yeah,
got pieced out.
Radagon Renala,
Yeah, Radagon,
Godfrey,
Renala,
Godfrey
Radagon,
Marika, and
yeah.
then Marik and Radagon.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
self-sets.
Because there's
Okay,
the
yeah.
three, yeah, and those are
Yep.
the true kids. Then we have the
you
hype.
got
I
the
call them
gold-
the hype
no, no.
kids, at least.
Listen, the gold kids are the kids made from that WWE blood. WWE blood kids.
we all have like we all.
All different breeds.
We got them. Hey, listen.
they were all good.
Listen.
sorry,
WWE
not Randall,
kids
but,
were on some real Mog and Morgoth. They threw down. They were.
They
you know,
threw
they
down.
might have. They
Mong, that guy. I hate that guy. But
You
oh
mean
my
Zog
god,
the Immortal?
That fight-
Mog Zog.
that fight is good.
Yeesh,
Neil.
Hey,
Hey,
Neil.
Neil.
Ooh,
I was
man.
like, yo, listen,
All right, hold on,
listen, y'all.
hold on, we got to rein this back in, man. We
I-
got to
we're
rein it back
in
in.
it.
We
Wait,
going too
wait,
ham. We about
We
to
got
go
too
too
one
hype.
ham.
We got too hype. We got
One
too hype.
observation.
2 hours
The
later.
old kids really want the folks to kneel. God went
They
and
did.
grafted one. Major said, now kneel. And over here, Mog saying knee heel a whole one time was making you just drop dead. Like, yo, these folks really want that respect.
He
They
want that
saying kneel.
respect. You know, when you hit that Mog, it's like, why did he want the dynasty? Because he wanted that respect. He wanted to create new.
And what did
for
Morgoth
being
say?
tossed
Write
out.
this on your meager grave that you were filled by Morgoth, the last king. I was like,
Oof.
okay.
Oof.
All right.
Ooh.
Respect. Yeah, these gold kids didn't know how to speak. They learned from his daddy.
Man.
I will show you no more courtesy.
So that's our
All right,
kind
back
of
to you then.
the lore versus story kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
some of the things.
You
And I
will-
think if you're going into this game, just be prepared to, just have a dictionary next.
Go to
just have-
Radon. Have a dictionary and go to
Radon.
Radon because that's going to be your peak storytelling moment.
Definitely.
There,
And the
yeah,
facts.
there you go.
Facts.
Facts. These are very
I think we
much
agree
facts. But moving on to we have. I think we can kind of wish
Oh, and
list
Trix wants a deluxe edition where they give him commentary as he plays. That's his
yes,
wish list.
this is that's my only wish list.
Hey,
Can I?
I will.
Can I get
I will.
that?
I would like that. Like the George
I
R. R.
would too,
Martin
honestly.
edition. The George R. R.
I
Martin
would-
edition where he
so,
just
like,
commented however you play.
Because I had both of at one point. There's a point in the game when you need to use the unalloyed needle exactly in the right spot, and
yeah.
So-
and I
so
wasn't sure.
troll.
And I wasn't sure where it was. I know I could have looked it up, but I was like, you know what? Soldat and Ahead, they hopped in on Discord, and I was playing with them. And there's something about having, and it's the same reason like I like fighting with Kaiden, my summon. There was voices. We were talking. It was fun. It
Yes,
alleviated the loneliness of the game. Yeah, it changed it up. But what was really cool was before I would fight something, you were basically giving me the lore and the story. You were giving me
Yeah.
lore and story.
We were those NPCs.
You were
hit
the
the mark.
NPCs.
There should have been. So you're saying
Fee from
random gold,
Zelda.
those gold marks where you get people to back you up. There needs to be like a silver mark that says, "All right, before you go in here, I'll let you know what you about to throw down."
So it was really nice it really helped because I was understanding more about the game, and it wasn't. And if they don't want to put the NPC there, you just have it in your ear. That was amazing. And of course, like after that, it was just like for even just like decisions that they maybe have made, or if they wanted to say like, this is why we made this enemy like this, or this is something else that they did director's cut wise. That would be cool to hear that.
Yeah,
Let
I
us
want
know.
I want them. I want them to explain why the crawfish is so strong. Why are
Oh,
the
you-
lobster
And the bears, crawfish and bears.
so strong? Yeah.
Well, don't-
Why
well,
are
don't
they
craw-
so strong?
Well, technically, they never die unless if they keep on finding new shells and such to grow into. So
Yeah.
they're apex like that. They're like koi
The
fish
apex
if they're fed
predator.
enough. Yeah, but no, my question would simply be when you start hitting those reuses, I need some lore context to get me through. That would have helped at least some because it's like, or at least just say, yeah, we didn't have anything left. It's like, okay, thank you. That's some catharsis. Because I had to wonder because it's like there was one place called Spirit Caller Cave, which was cool. It had the whole thing where those different snails that summon
That
things
dumb cave.
do it. It's a dumb cave, but it had a theme.
It was a nice
But then
thing.
there's
It was really cool. The stealth elements
Yeah,
there too. You guys
yeah.
should do it.
And
Yeah.
but then Sage's Cave, another cave that made no fucking sense.
Oh, that's
Which,
Sage
like,
Cave. Yeah.
Sage's Cave is like, all right, here's a Sage Cave. First off, there's a Black Knife assassin that's
Yeah.
being summoned by a Spirit Caller, and
Wait,
it's invisible.
The Sage's Cave also had nothing but skeletons in it too.
Yeah,
I don't think there were any sages in there. There
yeah,
was
I think it's because
perfumers.
the necromancer
There's
in
no,
there.
Sage. The Necromancer was the Sage.
Yeah, necromancer was
Oh,
the
okay,
Sage.
That's
okay.
So see, you got thread of lore. Oh, the Sage was a Necromancer. There's a story. A lot of the places in catacombs and the caves and such have a story. You're like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. This is a nice little excursion. But then random Spirit Caller summoning a Black Knife assassin that has a knife and is invisible, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
It was a cool fight though.
It's
It
a
was
cool
nice.
fight, but why are you
It's a
here?
good fight. Yeah, how you
Or
how
like
you,
the one cave, I forget what it's called, but you go in there and the boss is literally the Godskin duo, but it's one after the other.
Oh,
And
that's
it's being-
at the end of
No,
the
that's
game.
that's
like,
the spirit. No,
No,
the mountaintop.
That's yeah.
Yeah, near the mountain.
the mountaintop.
Near the mountain. Yeah, the mountain.
It's in the mountaintop,
Near,
but that
yeah.
boss is just it's like,
that
hey,
Crystal
oh
Lake
yes, it's
area, I think.
yeah, Crystal Lake, yeah, it's like, oh, here's the Godskin, here's the Godskin again. Actually, they're connected to the Spirit Caller. Why are you here? That was just me. I was like,
Yeah.
After a
like,
while,
are you trying to give me?
after-
Are you
after a
trying to give
while,
me a precursor of the bullshit of the fight that's going to happen for? Because I'm like, why are these two dudes regenerating? Is there any lore? Is it because of the time period? No detail given. I'm just like, all right, we know you just run it down at this point. I just want to kind of get done.
My
That
guess
fatigue.
is my guess is that it's their graveyard or something, and they just keep getting revived there.
Yeah, or they got caught in a time prison, which would be kind of
yeah,
cool, but we'll
probably.
never know. Or it
Time
was just
prison.
game mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it just winds up being game mechanics, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right. But yeah, sorry. Back to our concluding points of like wish list items. You want deluxe edition with commentary. Anything else, Tricks?
That's it for me. That's one of my commentary. Improved.
mine-
An improved UI. I'm not going to go into it, but I just want to say the inventory and equipment should be the same screen. You should be able to craft. All of it should be one. You should be able to craft something in one screen.
Oh yeah, because
in the same screen.
There's 3 different clicks, or at least 2. I feel you because it switches over to a different scene to figure out how many you want to craft.
That's
Yeah.
all. Like I want like some basic stuff like that. I mean, they can like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they did not deviate too far from the from menu setup. It was just more menus, which
It was
they
more
can
menu.
clean up.
Yeah.
There's more
Yeah.
menus, which I was grateful for because the crafting stuff was cool. I don't know if crafting was a thing in the Souls, the Dark games at all. I appreciate it because there were some good options in there, which if you actually start looking around.
In the game forces you to look around.
Yeah, well, no, I just mean your options. Like the Radagon and Elden Beast OG version actually had me using items for the first time to get some holy resist, and I was like, oh, holy proof livers. I can't make that. I know I can. This game you can make everything, so I went and found out. My improvements, my QOLs would be, or my wish list items, if they do this again, when they do this again, trim down the side content.
Mhm.
Because I think it's like there are 80 original bosses, and then there are a total of like 150 bosses total.
120.
Yeah, 120. Okay, so it's 80 and then 120, so 40 more. So let's just make that 100. And I want those repeats to make sense. Because I mean, the number of times I saw effing ulcerated tree spirits in random spots.
He was everywhere at one point.
He was everywhere.
The ulcerated tree spirit was everywhere.
And I'm guessing the context is the deeper in the tree roots you go, you just shat out. I don't know. And if I don't know, and FromSoft ain't gonna explain to me with no item around to say what's going on. They just
Man,
don't need to
I
be there.
hate those
Oh yeah,
free
because
spirits.
because he doesn't have a Ash, so
Deluxe
we don't
edition.
really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have an Ash, which would be dank as hell if we could just summon that motherfucker
So-
like a Naruto technique to yo, that'd be hype AF. Give me that that should be the Earth Tree magic. We got all the dragon, we got the dragons, we should be able to summon the Earth Tree avatars do his magic spells or something. That'd be kinda cool. But yes, expansion on the invocations and what they can do. My QOL, my wish list, dragon magics need to be amped in terms of what they do. They look cool. Only Rock Breath was worthwhile. The rest were hot dookie, including the old Dragon Lords. Dragon Lords made me cry on how hype it looked and how useless it was.
Yeah.
The Mother of Dragons, I roar. I'm like, bruh. I mean, it has some
I was
effect,
hoping.
but I was hoping. I mean, you slept. I was kind of
At one
hoping you
point
put everyone to
just
sleep.
At one point you do. Yo, I want to go in and just do crap. What was Saint Trina's? I want to do a Saint Trina's blade run. I want to sleep. I want to sleep them.
You just
That
made
weapon's
them
fun.
sleep, yeah.
I just want to make them sleep.
But yeah,
That weapon's
QL would
fun.
be up and improve your dragon AI. I mean, your dragon AI should be like your birds. Honestly, to God, I mean, your birds are more of a threat than your dragons. That's selling.
For
Like-
me, my quality of life change will be just remove the weapon upgrading system. Like, I don't want to upgrade like 100 different weapon. I want to use it, but I cannot use it because it's not fully upgraded like the rest of my weapon.
I'm okay with the upgrades. I just think they both should be 10. Not this whole 25 for normals and then 10 for sombers.
no 25.
I was so
25.
weirded out by that. I was like, okay, it took me half the game to realize there were two different currencies. But I was like, okay, that's fine. Why does this one currency have to take me all the way up to 25?
I almost think that we
I
could
will max it into 5. Honestly.
I almost think we could get rid of half of those weapons too.
I liked being all the different options because that was a fun little game. But some weapons had alternate like weapon styles, and like then you had those cool little interactions like the wakizashi actually can work with the katanas and power stance as an exception. I wanted more exceptions like that. That was my QL. My QL for these games going forward would be more exceptions like wakizashi plus the katana, where you could power stance 2 different types. Don't know how much it will do or make a difference, but just those cool little small secrets to find throughout all the different ones.
As long as there's like some uniqueness to it, because each of these weapons, because all of those weapons, the uniqueness to them was if you use the Ash of War on them. If you didn't use the Ash of War on them, then they're like your basic things in Monster Hunter almost, right? Your basic run of the mill weapon. And so for me, like I used some of the Art of Wars or Ash of Wars, I think. But not a lot of them, so I found myself gravitating to the named weapons, quote, quote.
Right. The named weapons with the unique ones, but at the same time, for the other meta game, because there's 2 sets of game, find the ones with the coolest unique ones, like, busted in-game weapon, that wave of gold. But then there are the power of the fact that some of those weapons
some of them are PvP
only worked on
too.
PvP, and then some of them only worked on certain types of weapons. So the whole thing of having exception sets so that you can double hand, because you can double hand the one you have on your offhand, use the weapon
and then switch over
if it was a buff, and then switch back over to power stance. I did that because that's some of the complexity. I was like, okay, that's cool.
My fingers were never nimble enough to do it. And
I usually just did it for like with the one on the offhand was the buff, and then switch back over, and then the power stances we have the one that was doing the business.
Yeah.
So when you start diving into more of a melee game, because that's the fun part of having all those different weapons and such is options for the melee game. Because it's a play style, and then you want to figure out what you want to swing with, and if some of them had exceptions like those rot weapons had rot when you normally don't have them with rot. So
yeah, that's true.
Aside from the normal pleb weapons, a lot of the weapons were pretty unique, so I was kind of happy with them. Plus, again, since every weapon is a piece of lore, I'm okay with them. I'm okay with the weapon block. I'm just not okay with how many stones you need for the normal ones in comparison to the somber ones, which is like you just need one of each, my dude. Okay, I should have one of each for the regular ones too. Why do I have to have 1, 2, 4, 6 for each iteration? I'm like,
you need like 3 of them for like one.
Yeah, it's like you needed like I think 8 of each of the normal ones because it was like
at the very end they're really like.
I was like, why am I pressing? I'm pressing this X a lot of times, guys. Y'all can quality of life reduce the pressing of X or whichever button for confirming to keep on doing the same thing over and over, or have a quick button to say, do you want to evolve this all the way up here and just do it all?
Max as far as possible.
Max as far as possible, something like that. other than that, and I want my boy Torn to be able to fashion them out. I mean, my boy's been rolling with me the whole way.
Torn needs
I want
upgrades, Jack.
I wanted to get the harnesses of the creature of the sentinels I killed. I want him decked out because this man's been with me from day one to day two. Also, I need him in the final fight because we go together. Together. I'm sorry, that final fight, Elden Beast, even in day one edition, would have been 5 million times more hype if you could roll in with Torrent. He was with you at the beginning, and now he's with you at the end because you can't.
At the end, yeah.
And then
like
at the
that.
Age of Stars, you should have hopped on Torrent. Y'all should have just rolled on up to this guy.
Oh man, anything
That's
else?
me.
I think I said what's my list is I just want the weapon upgrading system just completely gone because I want to use a different weapon, but I cannot use it because it's not upgraded enough like the rest.
I
of my
did like
weapons.
I did like the questing to find those somber stones that you can buy up the stones and you didn't have to hunt across the world.
That was
I like
nice.
that as a stopgap. I don't know if that's a thing that's done through the other Souls games. I like that as a stopgap. I was like, okay, so if you hunt through these different caves, and I don't know if they were specifically always the Sauron looking caves or whatnot until the end game where you just had to go through Random Azul. I'm called Random Azul because that's what it really was. Random Azul.
Yeah, I know. There are definitely items that I missed in Random Azul because at that point I was literally trying to finish the game up on
just
stream.
trying to run it down.
I was trying to run it down. And I'm like, okay. I'm gonna miss some of these items.
But
I
yeah,
think that's the biggest mindset
it was just cool
thing
that
too.
there was that design where it's like you can get all the glove warts except for the final one, all the glove warts, all the different bells, all the different stones to be bought up at the just normal round table. And I'm like, that's a nice QOL. Cool. I still don't need to be going to 25 for the normal one.
Yeah,
it was very true.
That's dumb.
Wow. So I guess we'll kind of skip. Well, we won't skip over. We'll kind of bundle it all into one thing. What do we think is next? What do we think is coming for the series or the franchise DLC kind of thing? Is this for like who do you think? Is this for you kind of thing? If you had to recommend it to someone and then just give your final verdict on it. So
I actually have recommended Elden Ring to a couple of people, and most of them start off like it's a good game, but it's not for me. But like towards the end, they just keep playing and playing, and then they just get addicted. Red Cancer, another streamer, asked me about how is Elden Ring. I was like, man, this game is too addicting for me.
It's crack.
I know it's not for some people, but it's definitely good. And he bought the game like the very next day. He played 7 hours and he tweeted like, "This is a good game, but it's not for me." and then I saw the Steam and he kept playing. I was like, "How about that game, bro?"
I heard another reviewer that had the exact same thing. They were like,
"This is
too
good. This is too addicting." And then he kept playing. I feel bad because I recommended him the game and he didn't enjoy it, but and he ended up enjoying it very much. He also streamed it too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked it up just because, do I recommend it? I recommend it as if this is your first intro into the FromSoft verse. Yes, you will have content for days. I mean, I threw 300 hours. You don't have to. The best part about this game is it does follow the run through. So in most games, FromSoft games, you eventually get tired of the map and you just run it through. The whole game can literally be handled in that methodology. Just run it through directly to start to end if you want to. But if you don't and you want to explore, do so responsibly. But you got content.
Yeah, you got tons of content. Honestly, this is the quote unquote DLC. It's in this game already. Like
the only thing DLC is going to do for us, which is going to be, is just give us more content, maybe of context, because we still have questions that easily can be filled in by the DLC. That's all. We don't even need anything extra. Honestly, we're all just like
it's like Witcher 3.
Yeah, game's done. I mean, if the DLC actually trimmed down some stuff, I kind of be happy. Many of these areas have been wiped away, and we've reconsolidated them. I was like, oh, cool, great DLC, man. Y'all made less better. All right, bet. Like this is the one thing. If they said we cut out some stuff and put it in a new area, all condensed to one, I'd be like, all right, say no more, fam. I'll take that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would say the Elden Ring is the best entry point for Souls-like game because Dark Souls is definitely way harder than this. Sekiro, different combat style.
You got
Bloodborne, I would say it's the same as this game. You could either play Bloodborne or this game.
Yeah,
If you want to get
Bloodborne for
into.
a smaller
Yeah, it's a
experience.
bite size. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you enjoy Breath of the Wild and you want something in a new brutal but respectfully fair mode, come to Elden Ring. It'll treat you right, and it really will treat you right because that like we said, that breathtaking entrance into then getting crushingly beat down, but it was your option to do so.
It's always there.
It puts you in that. It's always your option to do so. That's the perspective being put in.
Yeah, and you don't really have to. I think in a lot of the other From games, you are guided,
thrust into it.
You are guided through a certain. You're guided to that boss. No matter what happens, there's not a lot of beaten paths, and if you can't get past that boss, that might be the game for you. I know I've talked to people, and that was it. Like I just couldn't. And that was honestly it for me in Bloodborne. I couldn't get past the clerical beast. I couldn't beat it for like 2 years. I only gamed for like 4 years, but I would try and I couldn't get it. And for whatever reason, I don't know why Sekiro opened my eyes to how to fight this thing, but I finally understood it. And then after that, it was like a whole new world opened up. But for Elden Ring, I was fighting Margit.
I like Margot. We're making up names for characters.
All these M's and R's and
Random
G's.
Azul.
I was fighting them. First boss, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't.
Foolish ambitions, the rest. Put these foolish he mock you. Foolish ambitions.
He kept saying, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go and level up.
Explore. I'm gonna go explore. That's the best part of the game.
I explored
if you get
so
slapped,
much,
go explore. Just go explore. Go explore, and you will come back ready.
And I came back, and I was ready. Got slapped a couple times, but I had knowledge on how to play the game more.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Most of the main boss in this game just shield talk you every time you die. I was like, oh man, that's some fighting word right there.
Yeah,
that's the fighting word.
It can de-spirit you, but the game, unlike other games, like you said, you can just take a break, slide off. You might even find the alternate path to say F this place and go somewhere else. Fight boy Radon, who's hyping, it kind of gives it to you, but gives it to you, but doesn't give it to you at the same time. And yeah, there's always something to do, and there's always different. All the different demigods play off differently. Some easier than others. Radon himself with the legend plays off because it lets you just have y'all run in like it's a war battle.
It was 10 so against
fun.
1. It was so fun.
And that was such a great set. None of the demigods ever feel like a repeat. They all bring something amazing to the table. Granted, Rykard was a gimmick fight, but it was an epic kind of gimmick fight, depending on how it played out and what patch you're playing. Three Age of Lords experience. I mean, my experience is totally different from the third Lord tricks over here.
I spent more hours.
He got so hard. Me, hey, like just poke him, man.
Just
poke him. Hey, I'm like, here's me. I'm just weapon arm poking him once. Don't follow up.
He's the only one. He's the only one you can't really. I mean, you can go in there and approach him how you want to with your own weapons if you really want to. But
have fun with that long battle because he's amped up. His HP is up there for a reason.
I fight him with Mimic Tier, and Mimic Tier just run through in the lava area.
The AI be dirt.
That game.
And
you have the special weapon. Use it, Mimic.
The Mimic taught me how to love myself.
Yeah, but to be yourself, because you had to kill yourself first. Kill yourself, kill self in order to be self.
The story in there, it was deep. But I mean, that's the thing. Like you can really approach a lot of these things any way you want to. If you want, like we said, which opens it up. There's no stopgap.
For the future for the series, I mean, they're just going to take this formula, hopefully refine it and trim down dross. I think this is probably going to be the most clutch thing.
You mean make a normal Souls game?
I mean, no, not make it. I mean, they can always go back down and make a normal Soul game with all the quality.
Make an MMO.
I mean, let's slow down because they don't know how to do network code.
They don't know how to do that network. The online needs to be reformed.
You need to realize this is Bandai Namco. So,
yes, Bandai Namco.
They can't even get Blue Protocol out. I'm sorry.
So hidden warning in terms of the advertising of y'all can roll through and play the game together.
No, you can't.
You cannot.
You can play sections
your legacy
together.
Dungeons. You can play sections together until you beat the boss, and then you're just cut out. So you got to plan your whole play dates together, unless you just want to have.
It's really weird. Like they need to revamp their online system completely. It needs to come up to date.
But when you do roll with your homies, it is glorious and fun. And when tricks, or when you have people giving you those pointers, it's also great and fun because it's everyone sharing in with the whole collaborative storytelling element, which is what From is about. But yeah, they got to work on that. So that's their future. If they want to, they got to improve their whole online playing together game with the whole
Honestly,
open world
Or
situation.
I would say over DLC, I would just want like some series. I know I would want the journey of Torn. I want that the baby Torn to current Torn. I want the journey of Torn.
for me, I don't even want a DLC. I want an anime of this game. Like, imagine,
I want the precursor. I want the
I
precursor anime.
I want
Imagine
yeah.
the
If I have a
that
DLC that
would
was
be
a
the
pre
best.
LC, that'd be great.
DLC,
I want to see
yeah.
pre Dirty Bomb Khalid.
I just want a series about this game, like an anime, manga, a TV series, or whatever. I just want another like
I'll take the light novel series of the lore and secrets of Elden Ring to break it down.
yeah,
But yeah, if there's going to be DLC, it's probably going to be either related to Miquella or whatever. I mean, I'll pick it
Michaela.
up because it would be interesting.
The whole
'Cause there's
journey of
points-
McCullough. Yeah.
He's
Or,
still
no,
in the egg.
You mean the plot of Miquella? He's still playing it. I mean, he ain't dead. Gideon didn't get to dust him. He wanted to. Which at first I thought, man, Gideon, you mean you killing a child? But then once you realize what Miquella been doing, you're like,
Souls
Yeah.
McCullough's
games,
just waiting.
Souls
No,
games usually have a
Miquella's
DLC
plotting.
where they put you. Souls games usually have a DLC where they put you like in the. They basically put you in a time travel situation. So I would want like a time travel situation where you go back to
the
the
war.
land in between, yeah, before the war, basically.
Right.
Oh, before. Yeah, I mean,
Or
man, if we
during the
can see
war.
the events leading towards the Shattering, or when Radon and them were actually
The whole
rolling against the
Godwin
giants
stuff too.
or rolling against the giants and the dragons when they were actually
Oh, that
relevant
first
and being
part.
fought against. Yes.
I want to
Because they
know
defeat-
how. I want to know how Godwin.
Oh,
got
actually, be
assassinated?
what's the sack man?
The sack man.
Dang.
God
We're
damn,
going
sack
sacrifice,
dragon.
man.
The Sax,
Oh.
putrid Sax. What is it? The putrid Sax dragon?
Listen,
Dragon
listen,
Lord
sack man.
Placid. Sorry, Dragon Lord Placidius.
Bro, you were making up
Sax.
some word. Placid dragon. Wow, man.
No,
you
it's
had some shit talk.
Placid dragon.
Placid dragon. Wow.
No, it is Placid Dragon. He is
It's
Dragon Lord.
Placido. It's Dragon Lord Placido, man. It's got the dough in it like Papa dough, bro. You just made it. You just
But
disrespect
hey,
that
if you
dragon up and down.
if you don't look at the U though, what does it say? Placid.
Wow, he said, you know what a placid sounds like? Flaccid, like them heads that he's missing. Dang, tricks.
Anyways, I mean, yeah,
but no, okay,
it would
but
be
yes.
nice for a series of some sort. I mean, or a Netflix live adaptation.
Nope, they aren't doing
Witcher
any more
style?
animated work, so you're not happening.
That's why. No, that's why
Not
I said
Netflix.
live action like The
Prime.
Witcher. Can we get the
Nah,
Witcher
I
version
would.
of this?
They can't handle that. Nope.
We need an anime. We need an
there's
anime.
Hey,
There's
look,
too
we have
much
to suffer
epic
through
fantasy
One
going
Piece.
on.
We have to suffer through One Piece.
I mean, okay, that has nothing to do with this conversation, but
The live action,
What are you on about?
the live action Netflix One Piece. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, well, no one cares about that, like the live action Bleach. Moving on, but yeah. So things I would like to see if it was I'm confused and concerned with the fact that Miquella and Melina didn't have an Empyrean shadow, so that's an element that makes me go, what happened there? But if they did do a time, going back and we got to see the world either during the Shattering War, that'd be cool. Again, I'll pick up whatever they throw out because it's gonna be lit and it's gonna give us some details. Or if we got threw back with the Elder Beast crash down to the lands in between
Oof. Yeah.
during the Crucible days.
I don't think we'll
But
go.
yeah.
I don't think they'll go back that far because
I mean-
Hey,
I mean, what do you mean? We literally went back in time when Dragon Lord was around.
No,
That
I'm,
was
I'm
that
just
time.
I'm just saying most of the people will be like, the Elden Beast. What was that in the game?
Bitch, we fought him at the end of the game. What the fuck you talking about?
What?
Yeah, come on, Tricks. You down? There's
Elden-
ignorance.
the
There's
Elden Beast?
ignorance. There's ignorance,
no,
and then
no,
there's
no. Remember, we have to remember of how many people actually finished the game too.
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun. Oh wait, you know what?
That's
You know what
very
the best
true.
part of the DLC would be? Best part of DLC, quality of life feature added where you can quick jump at the wall of light at the final boss. That's what the DLC brings. Just straight up, instant buy.
For the amount of people that already beat the game, it's around 30% on Steam, 36%.
36.
Oh my God.
It's falling even lower. I saw it and it was 38.
Dang.
Never mind, 36. Okay.
This is
Dang.
funny. This is funny because the achievement that most people got for the ending is the runny one. It's 22%,
Yeah.
and the regular ending is 6%. So everyone
Dang.
Yeah.
basically
It's
everyone
it's
basically do the runny or the
Listen,
insanity ending, the frenzied flame
listen.
it's
ending.
Yeah,
basically
Fritz
because
Flame.
we all did.
Okay, listen.
It's a community. The whole community is talking, so everyone
Oh,
just did it. Yeah.
one additional thing I want in that DLC. I'm really mad and disappointed that there was no good
Oh.
payback. That we spared our girl, went through all those steps, got burnt
Yeah,
up
I
in
was
hell and
very
back,
confused. I thought she was
tricked
gonna.
fate. No, she does not come back. I mean,
Yeah,
they just
she.
did not fill in any details.
Yeah, I was. I
Like,
thought like because she's
I
still
wanted her to
there,
come back
right?
at the side of grace at the end point. It was like, so you rejected fate. I see.
But you changed.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. She never.
Thank you, Tarnish. Like, I want to thank you or something like, yo, no,
Yeah.
go forth
Well,
and
there's.
become Elden Lord,
Well, I
my
mean,
lord.
maybe they
Yo, if she
will.
said something like that, I'd be like, yo, Melina, all right, cool, my lord, all right, let's roll.
Maybe.
Maybe they can add some lines in their quality, because I mean, that's a lot of extra steps you can do for no. I mean, other
Even
than
For
self feeling
no,
good
like,
that
yeah.
you say
Yeah,
to the girl that
because the
did
whole
you
thing
right.
was is I did not want her to die. That's why I had y'all
Yeah.
there. I was
yeah.
like, I don't want her to die.
And,
So
and
we
you know,
did
and
all
that was
that,
the
and
whole
she
thing
doesn't
about,
say
and that was the
anything.
whole
That's
thing
it.
about Okina. I mean, Shibiri was like, "Would you really want to sacrifice her? We'll take on the flames." And then the beautiful part was the game led you to the point when you go down there to get the flames to give you a note to saying, "There's a way you can do this." And not, you can trick fate
Yeah,
because it
you
gives you a
should
note
say, yeah.
about the
Trick fate,
needle.
yeah.
You're like, oh, cool. The game's pointing you that this is a route that they expect you
Always
to
read the
possibly
item
take.
descriptions.
Well, yeah, that too. And it's like, well, they actually said specifically a note that second one you burn, and so that's the first thing that indicates you that the needle exists. If you weren't paying attention to
For a
anything else.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, cool. The game's actually expecting me to do this convoluted extra path. That means that they obviously plan on an extra ending or extra scene where we spare Melina and she rolls up on us in the extra scene, like, so a new age. Like, I would have been down with her just chilling over in the cut on a mountainside or something like. And so a new age has begun.
Hmm.
I did not
She
expect to
would. She
see
would.
it. That
You
the
know what?
world might be mended.
You
That
know
the
what?
world
Even
might be
even
mended.
if she did thank me, I still would choose Rani over
Yeah.
her. I mean, come on.
I mean,
Well,
I
I
mean, they
mean,
might.
they
I
are.
mean, they
Come
might
on
be the
now.
same.
They
So
might be the same. There's a weird thing about those two that's not
yeah, because that the
clear
marks on their
because
eyes, on different eyes, and all that. The
Ronnie
fact
we
that
know is like the spirit, but she casts
Maybe
away her
she's
body. Yeah.
yeah, she's a
what if
spirit.
Melina is Rani's body, Rani's original body? Well,
But
we
but
already
Well, yeah,
it's
see Rani's original body on the
yeah, we already
one of
see
the
yeah,
Ronnie's
cover.
original body,
yeah.
so it's not. So
But
that's
she,
why it's kind of weird with them two.
but she took the form and God, because they said the doll form that she has inhabited, and she takes the form of is an exact copy of her mentor. So the image you're seeing is taking the form of the snow crone that actually taught her all the ice magics. But at the same time, Melina is where it headed, which is also, if you take a look at the burnt
Oh,
body,
the
there's
anyone
red
with the
hair.
red hair, you know where they
Yep.
come from.
And red hair lineage is of Radagon, who is her daddy. So see, all the kids of Radagon and Renala had red hair,
They have red hair.
and Melina has red hair. Also, when you do that insanity ending, when that one eye that's tarnished that had that gold is gone because the ring is gone, the other eye that shot that has that blue looking at you
You know
going,
what we should
"We'll make you
do? We
pay
should actually
what you
just get
owe."
sold that on the mic, do a playthrough, and then
Record
have
all
you
the
do
information
and then do the director's cut.
and then make
And
money
then we
off of
release
the
it. Yeah, we release that, and then you
bootleg
download
cut.
download the MP3.
The
Follow this trail. If you do this exactly at
Play
these
play the
moments,
track now. Play the track. You get the
track.
audible of Elden Ring, the interactive adventure, starring Soul.
What if you just misled them? Like, you see that guy Bok? Yeah, just kill
It's
him
like,
right now.
no. It's like, so Bach over here is a demi-human. If you're that kind of person, you may kill him. But I know what kind of person you are if you do. I am a minority. just throw it down there in the proper from way. Like, you can kill him, and then you kill him. But if you do, I know what kind of person you are.
oh,
You disgust me.
goodness gracious.
That was a poor man just trying to do right by you. He actually wanted to be subservient, unlike me. But you keep on playing, homie. There was a quest you could have done. Made him serve you. Hook you up with some good clones. Oh, and for everyone who listened in, here's a little secret. All the equipment in the game, if you alter it, you get additional lore. Dun,
What?
dun, dun,
I thought it just made it
dun,
lighter. It just removed.
No.
It made
Take
it.
nope. Take if you grab Blade's armor and alter it, It talks about how he always will be devoted to Rain no matter what happens. I was like, bruh, you can't tell me that gives me even more knife to my heart. Yeah, if you change the equipment off,
But I
it'll have
like the
additional lore.
cape. But I
That's
like the
fine.
cape.
You can take it back off. You can just
Wait, you can put
alter
it back on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
of
always can
course.
alter it back.
You can
Oh
alter it
man, I
back.
thought you couldn't do that, so that's why I never
Oh
altered.
my God, thanks, holy. You didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. You alter it, and then it'll just allow you to pick it again and alter it back.
Did
But
it?
yeah,
Did it
if
ever
you
say it?
yeah, it
Yeah.
shows. Well, you have to do a trust. You have to do a
You
jump of faith and alter it
you have to do
first,
a
and then
jump of faith and then alter.
on
I
a,
didn't want to take
do
my
do
cape
it on a
off.
copy, dude. There's some pieces that have copies.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
have
just
no
experience
copies.
stuff.
You know how much it costs to
No, I
buy a
mean
copy here? Oh.
no, I mean equipment in general. Buy
Yes.
dummy
Hold
buy
on, hold
dummy
on, hold on.
equipment.
The
Well,
gift
let us end
copies,
this.
what
Let
the
us
hell is
hold
that
on. Let us end this
Oh my
right
gosh.
now. Just before we start talking
But
about
yeah,
another topic, 'cause
from
we're gonna be
soft games,
going. We're gonna
Elden
be
Ring
talking. We're
always
gonna be
has
talking.
content. I don't even know about the extra lore part.
Final verdict. I think I don't even know how we're doing this. Do we want to rate it? Do we want to give it a
Oh yeah,
number
let's
rating or
yeah,
just
out of 10, out of
Well,
10.
10?
Before we do that, can I ask you guys something? What's your favorite boss in the game?
Favorite boss? I mean,
Mine was.
for the
Wait. Let me resort to my list. Let me resort.
I mean, if you ask me immediately, I would say Radon for the presence and the fact that you
Yeah.
roll in with the crew.
It's really hard not to say Radon.
That would be my answer too, honestly.
It's my answer because on first playthrough, if you're not running through and grinding and doing all that, the fact that they give the gravitas of this man, the fact that they give you all those NPC summons, this
I feel
whole
like
festival,
Rodon
Everything
is
is
I
good
feel like
about that fight.
Rodon is the first boss that makes you feel that he is larger than life. You know,
yes, he is
Yeah.
a
like
legend.
Godric.
Like,
Godric is a bum.
Godric is no, it's fun, sad fact. If you go to see the little field of swords, it gives you little lore parts. It says, yeah, Melina walked in here, ran a train on him, and left him begging. I was like, damn.
This man is nothing special. Renala is just right there.
Her knowledge is a broken divorcee. I
Yeah,
feel
the
bad for her.
yeah.
I'm glad Ronnie stepped in. I was like, I
Godric
kind of
is
don't
on
want
levels
to.
is on the is C tier on my list, but yeah,
Morgoth had
is on
gravitas.
top.
Nothing special.
Morgoth was not like he had a good fight with him. Like
He had
anyone
good
on that.
presence.
He had good presence.
Yeah,
He had good presence. Godfrey is the second though. It's hard. Godfrey.
Godfrey only
his moves. His moves.
I mean, his moves weren't really. Godfrey was a little bit. I mean, the only thing that was special about him was him was grabbing a dragon and with his arm and then making it come to life.
Wait, did I say the right one? Godfrey. Wait.
No, Godric is the dragon.
No, I didn't say Godric. I said Godfrey.
Oh, you said Godfrey.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, WWE. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I ain't talking about.
Well, I mean, when you say God, when you say Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, we all immediately go, you mean horror WWE Lou?
Hello.
Horror WWE Low, who said, I will give you. He's speaking all his proper English, like, I ye and thou. Phase 2. I've given you courtesy enough. Excuse me. yo. First of all, when the man with a lion stand, who hasn't used it the whole fight, cause I was betting that lion start biting.
When you thought the lion was gonna fight,
and the lion just manifests. He's like, is it time? He's like, is it time for our phase 2? No, it's time for my phase 2.
Lion said, bye.
I was like, wait, this man said. I was like, this man just went grapple bake. This man went grapple bake on his own stand, just so he can say, "Let me do it by me." I said, I gave you courtesy enough. I'm gonna speak in proper English now. Oh,
he did a power driver and everything.
If he kills you with the power bomb, he literally rips you in half. I was like, bro, this man's too visceral. I didn't know you can do this in the game. But yes, he was the only other one that had about as much presence. But yeah, it would have been Radagon in terms of Radagon was the perfect form of storytelling in this game. Not everything was given. Gravitas was in respects were due. Had a whole celebration to try to put him down out of mercy and love by his men. I'm like, yo, that's the whole festival.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I said Rodan is the the first larger than life boss.
Yeah, first larger than life. Then the follow up would be WWE Lou, and then after that would be our boy Radagon, because he had a presence with that intro scene, but then everything else is
everything else after that. I knocked him down to an A, but
I mean,
he
not
should
gonna
be
lie.
there. He should be there. He still is a hype fight. He's
The
still a hype
Elden
fight.
Beast taking him and turning him into a sword is lit. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Taking his corpse and like
Can
dipping it in is like,
excuse me. Can we apply this to my boy Yu-Gi-Oh and Sword Art Online?
huh? What? Nah, man, homeboy
Who?
can't write.
Who?
Homeboy can't write. Homeboy can't write. Makes everyone thirsty for the main pro tag. No, we ain't go moving back to Elden Ring, the actual game.
Nah.
Dun 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 dun.
My man got turned into a blade, man. I'm just saying, but it wasn't nearly as good.
It wasn't nearly as hype, but he wasn't.
Way.
He wasn't halfly falling apart from a corpse that was being filled by the dark ether filled with the Elden Ring as a trademark.
All right, back to
Radagon, the trademark.
Oh man! All right, so we never got to the last question. We gave our boss fights.
Yeah.
Radon equally number one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Rest in
pretty
peace.
much.
With his little horse that he learned gravity magic for. Bless his heart.
He said he gonna say that horse.
I went and got a degree just so I can ride my horse. Preach.
So verdicts. I guess we're giving that a score. My score is a 9 out of 10.
Same.
Just due to the technical issues. I know a lot of people for some reason just excuse technical issues, current UI stuff that I think should be a little bit brought into modern era, even online stuff. The fact that the co-op works the way it does, it's kind of weird, but and just the story lore stuff for me. That's where I dock it points. I don't even hit the reuse assets.
That's
I would
me.
say
Why not?
I would say 9 out of 10 too. Same. I honestly, this game have become one of my, if not the best game I ever played. Honestly, after I don't know, Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts 2 did go right, but back to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Kingdom Ring. Dun, dun. But yeah, for me it's 9 out of 10. For different different reasons. I would say that last fight docked at 0.5 points. Just the light. The light and version 1 Elden Beast killed it, but they fixed him because I've been bonking him a few times, so still doesn't make up for the fact it happened. But I still will take off points for just the level of those textures messing up in places where it shouldn't for a game in a year of our Lord 2022 from FromSoft. I don't know if they'll ever patch it out, but those jank lines in the Mountain of the Giants, that's inexcusable. I thought I was honestly going.
The
those
triangle
triangle
shaders.
pieces, when you
triangle
start having to
shaders
step
is
out the
not
game
working.
and start checking through when the game's been running perfectly and beautifully well with all these varying textures, and you're overall in snow ass land, and somehow your shadows are that effed up. Oh, and also 20 FPS land somewhere in random Azul with those dragon shadows. There's some jank going on in some place that you just go, this game, it should not be. This game has been running too decently well considering all the things going on for it to be doing this. But yeah, that Elden Beast and reuse of assets just drop it down a whole point for me. Oh, and also the multiplayer, because I was playing with a friend and he was like, "Wait, we beat the boss and now you can't come and roll around with me while I find secrets in the area?" Nope, apparently not. Good luck, homie. Wait, but I had other side bosses I hadn't fought. Good luck, homie. No one else can help you. Get good.
Bye.
Yeah, that's fucked up from based on the way they advertise it. Because they advertise that you could roll
that there's
through
co-op.
together.
Yeah, they
You could
advertise
co-op
the word
whole
co-op.
game together.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a mother lie right there off the bat. So that's false advertisement. So yeah, drop it down to 9. But from an experience, this was the most hype I had. It was a full feeling of hype of when I was playing Demon Souls all the way from start to end to get the plat. And platinum in this game is way more generous than Demon Souls.
It is very generous.
Demon Soul, I was scared. I thought I was going to be literally having to max out every named weapon.
The fact that I got 86% of the trophies. Now I did a lot of stuff in the game, but I just was not expecting it to be 86%. Like
it's a very simple list. Just get all the legendary.
Find some stuff.
Go find specific items. Max out only one item. Like, man, back in my day, you had to max out one of every type. Do the endings. Do one because one ending is considered generalist, and then do the other two secret endings.
Do run ending. Do the run.
Yeah, do running ending. Do crazy ending, and then do any of the other endings. Like, really? Yeah, they're all just variants. Like, that's kind of sad.
The endings. They are variants, and it's something
that's also a point that leads to the 9. That's another point that leads to the 9. Like the quests that get you to those different mending rooms are kind of cool because you get to see different aspects and the different factions.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also kind of a minus too. And also that you save your girl and she don't there's no recompense from her other than
it's a lot of work for the payoff of the ending, which I think could have worked in any other Souls game.
True. Because in any other Souls game, you would actually have significant like ripple effects for the different endings. Because you usually just choose one, you stick with it, right? Or am I missing something? I don't know. I didn't play with all the Dark Souls games. But yeah, that's my score. It's a 9. I mean, I recommend the game to anyone and everyone, and just give them a little pretense and help nudge them the right way so they don't get either burned out or
Yeah.
faked out in terms of the lore and everything. I would just tell them, hey, I want you to take out whatever guide you do and then slide over to Radon. Just do it.
Yep.
You'll thank me, and now go to Lindell.
Yep. I think that's the if I had to give some parting advice, like I said, I give it a 9. I really enjoyed it. One of the best games I've ever played, just for the sheer fact of there's always something to do and always being in wonder. Like I've never had to say wow, oh my wow, so many times in so few like in between. Like it was just really wonderful, the entire experience in terms of exploration. But my advice, and this is something I had to learn with the previous games, is it's okay to look online. It's okay to look online.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Go call your
Yeah, I
friends or whatever. Don't
These
ask for
games
like
are designed as one of those
that's why
collective learning
Extra Life is
experiences.
there.
yeah. F Extra Life. Go there. Go look at
Goat.
your
Extra Life is
stats.
goat.
It's not a bad thing, and then also know you don't have to get everything. Like
You
it's
don't have to get everything.
It's okay.
Take your time. This
Take your
game
time.
is feel free to take your time. If you want to do 100% on the game, feel free to beat the game and then take care of it because nothing really changes. You can hold off on finishing, well, barring some things. And whatever you do miss, you can quickly run it through on the next run through.
This game is pretty easy to platinum, so
Yeah, it is.
I
And if you're really
played-
just looking to platinum it, then you technically can kind of do it on one, but you got to kind of know what you're doing. Worst
Yeah.
case scenario,
Yes.
run through the game 2 more times. And I did
Yep.
it because I got pissed off and had to run it through one more time. I ran this game down so fast. It was stupid funny. It's like you start playing the game of speed running. You're like, dang, I could do some work. All right, cool. Run through enemies. All right, but yeah, it's just fun in that way. This is a game that you can replay out and you don't feel like you're cheating yourself.
There we go. I guess is that it? Are we done? We
I
done
mean-
it? 2 hours and
I
20-minute mark?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
for
over here
a
eating
game
bread.
as big and
I'm
expensive as
popping
Elden
bread.
Ring, I think 2 runs we kind of speed ran the whole content of the game pretty well. For
Yeah.
anyone that's listening.
Yeah, if you want to pull this up while you're playing Elden Ring, you might be the boss. Or if
Yeah,
you're
you
might still be dying.
you might have got sidetracked from the boss and then hit up by a few different catacombs and everything. And I'm gonna tell you, calm down, get back on the game. Calm down and get back on the game. Those catacombs and caves will be waiting for you. Seriously, you'll be saving yourself a lot of pain because
You'll
be
probably
seeing all of
forget
these
about them.
assets.
I kind of
You
want
can-
I
you
kind
can
of want
skip the
Homeboy to mark
catacomb.
them off the map. Like if you complete one, just mark it off
Or like dim
Oh,
the
yeah,
side of
the-
grace.
or
A little
dim it
bit.
or something. Yeah, something because there's some I know I can go back to.
Yeah,
There's
'cause,
one
yeah, no-
specifically that I just need to use. I need to do one thing to get something, but
So yeah, that was
I don't remember
my
which
fear.
one it
Like
is.
that
I don't
was
remember
one of
where
my
it is.
fears of getting that like doing it all paralysis because like I'll find a new cave and like all right cool, I could come back and find this, but then I won't know if I actually had done it or not. So I was like, well hell, I got to do it right here and now.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Fear of forgetting out. Fear of forgetting. It was really the main thing of this game because there's so many places. Fear of forgetting. But yeah, you're right.
I missed a few early area later in the game, like 60 hours into the game. I found out there's an area in Limgrave I didn't even come to, so I just did that real quick.
Bro, I missed my boy Bach the first game through. I was like,
Oh,
well, let me see what this dude is about. I completely missed him.
No,
I was
I got
he
Bach.
exists.
I got Bach, and then I forgot about
we
him
know
until
what you
they
did to
did.
Bach.
No, until they did that update, that first update, and I saw him on the map. I was
Oh.
like, "Who's this dude?" Went back. Oh, I bought a light just to go in the cave with that man.
And the light. Oh yeah, that was the best. That side light, best item in the game.
Man,
That little lantern, my lantern light.
go find your lanterns. You know where it is.
Oh yeah, QOL. I hope they can let you just kind of use the diagonal buttons, a quick slot, a few more items real quick instead of just the directionals. But that's just me. I'm just saying because I do not want full on rotation wheel. I hate those systems.
Yeah,
where
that
you
would
can hit
be.
the button.
Yeah,
But if I could just
the item wheel, yeah.
I hate item wheels. But if you could maybe give me the option to like corner point to get 4 more slots, that'd be kind of cool. That's just me though. Might have to
There we
mod
go.
that in. Play it offline.
There you go, everyone. Well, We'll be back. Like I said, you can always follow myself on Twitch at Ninja Tricks. You can follow Ehe at just Ehe on Twitter. Soldat is unfollowable.
I'm over and making my dynasty, but not made of blood. Mine
you
is
can
the
also-
outer god of the Black Man Vortex. Let's go.
And you can also check out the Unknown Games podcast on YouTube. Every Monday, we have a podcast that goes up live, 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time. But if you are not a YouTube person, we do have the podcast go up every Friday on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts. Pretty much anywhere you can listen to it, it's there. Even Audible. Thanks, Amazon. We're all good here.
Now, when does Audible start sponsoring Elden Ring, like you said, and have me hired up?
I think we can just do the recording and then we just put it on there, right?
Is that
how it
get
works?
cease and desist? Is that how we get cease and desist and get sued? Yeah,
No,
sounds about right.
that's how we get that's how we get it. But that's how Bandai Namco goes. Maybe we should do this instead.
No, maybe we should hire them. Dun 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 dun. 3 Lord production.
And Ronnie's ending has been fulfilled. We have gone to the stars of Bandai
She's got
Namco.
4 arms that can handle all 3 of us. Wait, what?
Okay, well, that's how we're
There
going to
we
end
go.
today, chat. Everyone, thanks once again for joining us. I got to say super thanks to Soldat and also to Ehe for joining me. This is Golden Week here in Japan. This episode should go up on Friday. We might have like a double
Perfectly
one.
Golden
Perfectly.
Week, Golden Order.
gold.
Dun, 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 dun.
We keep
A sin.
we keep getting a loop into Elden Ring.
We
This
can't
is what the whole
stop.
this is what the whole thing was about. It's a ring. It keeps
It's
on
a loop.
going and it keeps
Yeah,
looping.
yeah.
And except we didn't get that spiral drill. Rest in peace.
No.
The
One
no, we
thing,
really wanted.
one thing can break the loop, and it's One Piece.
You mean the hammer?
Yeah.
is some Gomu Gomu no hammer? Just breaks the ring. Dun. Sounds about right.
There we go. You heard it, everyone. Remember, go watch One Piece. Go read One Piece.
And break the ring. I mean,
Go play some Elden Ring. That's why you're here, anyways. You already were playing it, but if you haven't,
You better have it.
Then
If
you
not,
just
you
got
got spoiled
spoiled.
up and down all around. Or maybe
Yes,
you've
yeah.
been enriched. Or you've been enriched. You got way more lore as you're gonna ever get in the game. There you go. by the three lore production.
oh man, this was a fun time, everyone. We'll catch you again. Thanks everyone for joining, and we are out. Peace.
Peace. Dun, 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 dun.